Welcome back to the English Corner podcast. You are witnessing the 40-second live coverage and watch along. You already know who it is. I am your host, Tyson, aka The Legend. In the building with me on the bottom, I got my guy, Shane Sollis, aka Positive Energy. Shane, what's happening?
Blessed day, brother. Blessed day with some big boxing.
Facts. We are covering Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou, and in the co-main event, we are covering Big Bang Zhilei versus Joseph Parker. The first round is getting ready to start.
Yeah, it's already underway.
Yeah, so are you concerned for this fight? Are you concerned that Zhang is almost 300 pounds?
Yeah, for the later rounds. I mean, because that's one of the reasons I was surprised that Parker was the underdog, because I feel like if he can weather the storm through the earlier rounds, he's definitely going to be the pressure fighter, and he's used to dealing with power punchers, and but that's just it. He does have to weather that storm because it's coming at him,
Yeah,
it does concern me. That's a little on the heavy side, though. Yeah, it is a bit concerning, especially to plan on going through the later rounds.
Facts.
He's looking good right now, though. He's landing pretty good. So
yeah, that's the thing.
He
that's
might
the
not
only
be
thing.
looking to go.
Yeah, I'm just concerned. Zhang, if it gets into the later rounds, how's his gas tank going to be? With him being 40 years old, how's his gas tank going to be? You know what I mean? So, but he's got power, man. So.
Yeah, and then there's no doubt he's going to try to finish it early. Hopefully, he doesn't get gassed out, because I definitely have the concern that he will. I believe they probably looked at it like if it goes to the later rounds, I believe they already know that Parker is going to be favored there anyway. Parker's very, very well conditioned, and like you said, he's 40. But he's coming at him right now, and I mean he's doing what he needs to do at the moment.
Yeah, Parker, he's had 4 fights last year. He was the first fighter that Wilder didn't knock out. Wilder didn't even drop him in the fight. You know what I mean? So he took Wilder the distance. You know what I mean? So he kind of shocked the world. Everybody was expecting Anthony Joshua and Wilder. This probably been happening tonight, but Parker derailed those plans. So
yeah, he did. Rock Wilder a few times too. There wasn't no excuse good enough for that one. I mean, that was a clear win. So
facts. Yeah, of course.
we talked about Wilder with his excuses, and
that's what I was getting ready to say. Wilder made all the excuses. He had a long plane ride, so I wasn't feeling it, man.
And with that said, I do understand where he's coming from. I do think he was trying to say he come out flat, but man, you got to get out there and make it happen.
Facts.
He knows he can't lose that fight, so.
Yeah, I'm going to say this when we first started. Salute to our co-host Chris G. He's not able to make it, but salute to Chris G. Salute to my guy G5 Jeff TV. Salute to last ones at the bar. My guy Wilton may come in a little later. So salute to those guys for sure.
Yeah, it's an early one on Friday for us. So, and many of our fights is getting moved over there. And looks like many more to come going over there. I mean, that's. I see why Garcia was really wanting his fight to be in Vegas, because man, they're losing a lot of fights over there right now. Not just boxing, but MMA and just events all overall. They're starting to lose a lot of them to Saudi Arabia. Man, Abu Dhabi's becoming like the place to be.
Facts, man. It's like Saudi Arabia is definitely putting a lot of big cards together for sure, man. For sure.
They are. I mean,
yeah.
And they're offering these guys the money to come over there, man. And I mean, it's big money. I mean, like you saw in like the Fury versus Usyk fight that's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
There's $1 million somebody's gonna have to pay if they don't show up to that fight.
Wow.
I think that's not, you know, like I'm not gonna say that whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, but for that fight, I think it's a great thing. You know, to make sure that fight happens. You know, and I mean, we gotta have Fury go out there and win that for boxing, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like shout out, you know, to all the guys in Saudi Arabia, man. They definitely putting all the big calls together, man.
What do you think so far out of it?
You said what I think so far?
Yeah, from what you're saying so far, what do you think?
Looks like both guys were just filling each other out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Zhang, they both are very big. You can tell Zhang is a lot bigger, but doesn't look like it's a serious fight right now. And it just looks like both guys are just like, you know, it's just like a fill out round because we still early in round 2. So. And it looks like, I would say, Zhang, it looks like he's been just a little bit cautious too.
Yeah. Maybe worried about that gassing out we were referring to.
Yep. I think that's what he's doing. Like since he's a lot heavier, maybe he's just trying to take it slow. And if he's got an opportunity to land a big punch, he's going to go for it.
Yeah. Let's see.
It does look like it looks like he's more stalking Parker.
Yeah. Yeah, I expected Parker to be reserved like this for a while because I figured his game plan was to survive the storm in the earlier rounds and take him into the deep water. So, especially with a 290-pound athlete in front of you, you definitely, you know, want to take him in the later rounds, get him exhausted. Parker showed that he can deal with unorthodox. He can deal with power, you know, so every fight's different though.
Yeah, let me get my guy in here. We got Wilton Henry in the building. Salute. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How we doing?
Good, man. Yeah, just nice laid back day for me, man. You know, I'm not really up to nothing. Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How much of this card have y'all fellas watched?
Most of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was watching the last fight between Ray Vargas. I think the guy's name was Nick Ball. I didn't have my full attention on it because I was like getting set up, but it looked like it was an uncomfortable fight for both. Like Vargas kept going down and complaining to the ref, but like, yeah, so I didn't have my full attention on it because I was getting set up though.
Okay. Who ended up winning that fight?
Vargas.
Okay.
Very, very close decision though.
Got you. This fight right here is real interesting, man.
Absolutely.
It's real interesting.
Are you concerned for Zhang being almost 300 pounds?
Yeah, I'm concerned with that. I'm also concerned at the fact that Parker's activity, I think he has the know-how in order to make it to the area that he needs to make it to. Like Parker sometimes can be a cutie, where he knows how to like wear you out a little bit and then get you where he wants you to get you to, and then start getting the stuff off. And that's my concern for Zhang in this fight, in addition to what you're saying as far as the extra weight.
Oh, he caught a shot there, though.
That boy got some power though. That's for sure.
Yeah. Like you said, Parker's good at weathering storms, so
he got that experience. Man, he fought so many top tier heavyweights.
Yes.
Plus, he is very active. You know, he was very active last year with 4 fights. So,
did they ever say why they're fighting on Friday as opposed to Saturday? Is it something? Is it a reason?
That's one question. Like we were just talking about that earlier, man. With these Thursday fights, Friday fights.
Oh,
you must have seen something I ain't seen. Oh, there you go. I seen it now.
That's right down the pipe.
Oh man, he put him down. He was rocking him hard there.
Yeah, Zhang got a knockdown in round 3, doing a little bit of dancing.
Yeah,
it looks like Parker's nose is bleeding too.
It is.
Wow.
Oh, he might be out of there. Yeah, he about to be out of there.
Wow.
And props to him. He stayed composed too. You know, he didn't overexert himself or anything there. He managed to keep his composure and land crisp punches. So props to him.
If this dude, Park, he might be. Oh no, you can't. Yeah. Get him out of there, man. If Zhang continues this and it keeps going in this direction. See, here's the thing, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. This is who Joshua should be fighting right now. There ain't no Ngannou. Like, ain't nobody. Come on, man.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say, man. I mean, I'm going to watch it, but I just feel like as Joshua being a top heavyweight, he should be in there with a real fighter, not a guy that's in the second pro fight. You know what I mean? But it seems like boxing's going with this direction now. Now we got Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
Right.
So, you know what I mean?
Money grab.
Yeah, it's a money grab for sure. Yeah, but Joshua should be in there with like a Herkovich or somebody like that.
Well, no. He should be in. I'm saying if they saying that he's the guy that he's supposed to be, like if he's supposed to be like back, like Joshua was back, right?
Yeah.
Then he should be fighting this dude. This is who you're supposed to be fighting, man.
Yeah.
At the very least, he should be fighting Parker. At the very least.
Oh. He gets to tell that story though. If he can convincingly beat Ngannou, he gets to tell that story. You know, say Tyson Fury wins his fight, he gets to tell that story that he handled him much more convincingly, and that's the reason that he should fight Fury. And then you got your mega fight from it. So,
yeah,
I mean that's a safe play.
Yeah. That's
I completely get what you're saying. Though, if he is the guy that he's they're claiming he is, then this is who he should be fighting for sure.
Right. You know, I don't know how it got to this point where, especially as fans, like fans used to want to see like the better dudes fight the better dudes, and that's what you were salivating for. You wouldn't accept anything outside of that. If somebody didn't fight the first best person, if they couldn't get to that person, then they had to go to the second person. If that second person was unavailable, they had to go down the line. Now people are so accepting of, okay, that's not a money fight, that right there, or they just accept anything, and it's unfortunate at this point. And it's ruining the sport. And like I say, that's the reason why you can have guys come in here doing these like crazy type fights. The Jake Paul's against Mike Tyson. You got Ngannou and fighting Fury. Then you got Ngannou fighting Anthony Joshua. I would just imagine Muhammad Ali fighting some dude, some other guy outside of trying to get at Kenny Norton or Joe Frazier or George Foreman. Like, that was unacceptable. You couldn't do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
My bad. So what were you gonna say?
Nah, I think Floyd and McGregor kind of started this whole thing.
100%.
I can't think of any fights before them two, but that was so successful. It just seemed like they looked at that and just kind of ran with it, and now we're getting a lot of it.
The blueprint.
Yeah, now I'm hearing that Manny Pacquiao is possibly going to be fighting Conor Ben, and they were face to face talking with each other. It looks like that could possibly happen.
Right.
At least that's 2 fighters, though.
Yeah. One and 2 dudes who known for the juice. No, I'm just messing up. I can't say that about Manny because he never really tested positive. But yeah, it's 2 fighters, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got fighters. That's a little bit. That's better. You know what I mean? But you got, and then check this out. Even with Floyd, and I'm not a Floyd apologist or anything like that, but I could. Ooh, he didn't clip Zhang though. I can understand where Floyd was in his career, and at that particular moment where McGregor was. You know what I'm saying? It only made sense. But now, that being something that's the norm, like, nah, man. And then all of these guys who are like YouTubers, or you got MMA guys crossing over, I think it's a lot of moving parts when it comes to like the mess that has been created. Also, guys like Tyson Fury not handling business when you facing somebody who's not in your league. Like, you need to go ahead and do so. But then again, Tyson could have been looking at it from a standpoint where, you know what, I'm gonna let this dude make some rounds and whatnot, and then I can go ahead and give me a rematch against a dude I know can't beat me. But then it got out of hand because of the fact that it's better than what he anticipated.
Yeah, if you didn't have that Floyd versus McGregor fight, and then Floyd versus Logan Paul and stuff, like, you're never gonna see Tyson Fury even get the idea of fighting an Ngannou or anything like that. And like, they should really be looking at it more like Nate Diaz and MMA. You know, like when they brought up CM Punk, he was like, man, he doesn't get to fight me. You know what I mean? He's an amateur. He doesn't get to just jump in line and fight me like that. Yeah. And it's surreal how far it's went. You know, and like that's the way I see it. Like, Jake Paul getting a fight with Mike Tyson, honestly, like that's somewhat of an honor for him. You know, like he's getting a fight one of his childhood heroes, and just because he's a draw,
right?
And then say he wins that fight, like if he wins, I mean, like that's. I don't even know what to think about it. It's surreal. It's something I never actually pictured would have happened. So,
right,
it's really hard to process, to be honest.
It is. It really is. It's one of those situations. You know, back in the day, they used to say that. They'd be like, "Would you take $2 million to get hit by Mike Tyson?" You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But he's fighting a damn near 60-year-old Mike, too.
Exactly.
So he might have a shot, and then a Mike Tyson that smoke a lot of weed. I think what happened probably is that they're around each other probably more than we think. He probably seen Mike do some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, he out here doing this. I could get Mike right now, and then he ends up egging him on. Go ahead and take a fight right now. Because like you said, if we get Mike on his resume, and it's a lot of these young guys, just like he beat Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That'd be great. And that's just gonna propel him to get another huge payday too.
And like they talked about did you happen to see when Vitor Belfort fought Holyfield?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he got such criticism and the sanctioning body got such criticism for it. Like, he couldn't even get a fight after that. It was like, you know, if you're looking at Evander, there's no reason he should be in there. And I think people are looking at Tyson, and they're looking at these clips from 3 years ago where he's really fast in the gym and everything, and his head movement's really good and all of that. One thing you can't catch there is like that half a second, because sometimes in boxing all it takes is to be half a second off, and then you're getting caught every time rather than dodging out of the way. So if he's half a second slower, he's getting hit with shots that he wouldn't have got hit with before.
The only thing with Mike though, if Mike
he can still win.
If he's close to any way that he was against Holyfield, just the body shots, like he was like doing some tremendous stuff to the body that I think Roy might have been hurt for about 2 weeks after that. And then, with that fight, what that started having me think about is not necessarily in their prime, it was Roy's prime when they were talking about a Roy Jones versus Mike Tyson fight. And I'm like, I don't know now. At first, I thought it might have been, a chance for Roy to be able to beat him where Mike was in his career at that time. But when Mike was delivering body shots, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I really like he carried him through that fight, that exhibition, if you will. It really like Mike. You can see him at one point saying, "Come on, Roy." It seemed like he was basically trying to carry him through it with him.
Yeah, and he wasn't really throwing the headshots against him.
Let me get his comment. My guy Aaron, he said, "Yo, what's good, Ty? My brother from another. What's good, everybody? Salute to my guy Aaron." Well, he was gonna try to go to the fight with me too, because he's over there in Frederick, Maryland. So he wasn't too far from the fight as well. So
okay.
Yeah.
Salute.
Yeah, salute to him, man. Appreciate him sliding through. Like everybody in here that's new, if you're new to the channel, hit that sub, because I'm one sub away from 400.
Oh man, you deserve it, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the longer this go on, man, the more Parker's gonna get more confident too.
Yeah, I was just supposed to ask about that. It looks as if he's starting to attempt to pick apart Zhang a little bit.
Yeah, that's what he does. And he's not. It's not like he's over moving. Like he's like right there, but you can't really catch him, and he's just being a little bit quick. And then he's landing, stuff here and there on him.
And that's where the weight really concerning, huh?
Yeah. Weight, age,
facts, and it's
issues.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned this before. Well, it's kind of like Zhang just popped up on the scene, because a couple of years ago I wasn't familiar with Zhang.
Same.
So it's like he came up on the scene, and of course he's got those back-to-back stoppages over Joyce, but it's like he's already 40, and I didn't see the fight with Herkovich, but that's just the one everybody said he was completely gassed.
Yeah, they both were, but he was learning so much heavy stuff that each guy would take turns, and then they both would look out a little bit, but then the other one turned the tide. But it was a fight that he had against, I'm going to say Jerry Forrest. That was the one that showed his lack of stamina in the latter half of the fight. He was killing that dude. He damn near killed that dude. Somehow, some way, the referee allowed the fight to keep going. So by the time they made it to the 5th round, he done knocked the dude down maybe 4 or 5 times. By the time they made it to the 5th round, he had nothing left. And so it ended up either being a draw or something like that. It was very close.
Okay.
Because he was up so much the first 5 rounds. But that's when he got diagnosed as dehydrated. And so they're saying now that he drank excessive amount of water in order not to be dehydrated. But then Hercules fight was after that, and he still showed a little bit of fatigue when the fight. So yeah, he's old, you know.
Yeah. I get tripped out. This fan zone's crazy. 63%. 63% think Ngannou's gonna win.
Must be MMA people.
And I was gonna say, like, it says something about the audience. Now, do you think it's good for somebody like Zhang or Parker to be on this card to where the MMA audience maybe sees people that they didn't know before? Because we're familiar with them, but a lot of these guys aren't.
It's hard nowadays. It's hard to say, man.
It really is.
You know, because it just looked like that's the direction that boxing is going. Some of these fights that like crossover fights. You know, it's not. You know what's really interesting to me is that just the support from the mainstream. Like, listen, you may have like big fights that take place or fights that you like. Oh, man, that's a good fight right there. You will never see that on ESPN, but some of these fights that like these Haney fights, they'll talk about that on like First Take or Undisputed and stuff like that. And that's even contributing worse to the minds of boxing. So to answer your question, I don't know, like these guys, that may be good shot. That may be what do you do? Like as just a boxer like Zhang. I don't know if he's gonna win this fight or lose this fight. Nobody wants to fight him, but how would he get an opportunity at a Joshua or at some of the upper echelon guys?
Right.
Because it's like the risk outweighs the reward. And they're getting handsomely rewarded for fighting dudes that don't even make any sense.
Yeah.
That's what I say for Joshua. From his mindset, like, you know, I can imagine if they come up and said, "Hey, do you want to fight Ngannou?" You know, and like that'll lead to fight Tyson Fury or fighting for the title. You know, he's gonna say sure. You know what I mean? Like, and it's a big payday.
Let me ask you this question, though. How is this? I guess the answer is Tyson Fury made it okay for Anthony Joshua to take this fight. Where people are like, this is a good fight. Like, when in history has it been okay for you to fight a dude that's 1-0-1? I don't care. He has power. But you are a former heavyweight champion. You're supposed to be back. You fighting a dude that's 0-1? Like, come on, man. They can sell this better to me from a they don't sell it because it's gonna sell. But I'm saying as far as like a real legitimate fight, if they had Ngannou win a fight or two against like somebody else. And then it's like, Ngannou, he's on the fast track. But no, man, you had two fights. The first fight, nobody ever saw you fight before. So they might have threw Tyson Fury off a little bit. He didn't take you serious. He's over there grappling with you when he shouldn't be trying to grapple with you because you're an MMA guy and all of that type of stuff. He wasn't in any shape. All of that. Now they got film on you. Like, they see what it is that your deficiencies are. They're going to go right. He's going to go right down the middle and knock this dude out. Maybe 3 rounds, 4 rounds, in my eyes. But I'm just saying, I agree. What I'm saying is, how are people legitimizing this stuff? Like, this is a legitimate fight. So let me. This is what I'll say. This is the last thing I'll say. You can't really.
Put Parker down.
No, you can't. Parker went down.
Yeah.
You can't criticize Canelo Alvarez at all. How can you criticize Canelo at all if this dude is able to fight him?
Facts. You can't.
Yeah, I always said, like, I know everybody's trying to say right now Canelo's ducking Benavidez, but I already said Canelo's been in there with everybody, man. he's fought Triple G 3 times. You know what I mean? Triple G is considered, you know, one of the most powerful punchers, you know, in that division. You know, he's fought him 3 times. You know, he's fought Danny Jacobs. You know, he's fought Sandy Law. He's fought, I mean, Canelo's resume is solid. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm not gonna knock Canelo's resume. Like everybody's upset because the Benavidez fight didn't happen, but Canelo's resume is solid.
It depends on how you look at it. I'm gonna tell you, it's very solid in comparison to anybody that's out right now.
Definitely.
Like historically, like you would look and you would see. Oh,
yeah, you seen it? Yeah. So Parker's been down twice in the fight now.
Yep.
Yeah, Zhang got that right though. That a lot of dudes ain't really, because they worry about their left side.
Yeah, he sped it up a little bit on sucking the wind out of Zhang now.
Maybe in 8th round too.
So. Then he realized he's a little, that knockdown put him a little farther behind in the fight than he wanted to be, because he was catching up.
But you know, like out of all Canelo's fights, you know, speaking of Canelo, you know which one, like, to me, like the most brutal knockout that he's had was when the dude James Kirkland. That was bad, like bad when he knocked him out.
That's a tailor-made fight for him though too. That's a tailor-made opponent. You know, that was an opponent he picked to have an exciting fight during that time. I remember that fight distinctly, and that was a guy that he knew was going to bring the fight, and that he would be able to put away in devastating fashion.
Yeah, I wasn't familiar with Kirkland. His record said he was good, but like Canelo just beat the brakes off that dude, man.
Facts.
Oh yeah.
Well, you could say I feel like Canelo's earned the right to. In one sense, he's earned the right to fight who he wants to fight. But from a do you want to be the best standpoint, you know, like I can see why people are frustrated that he's not fighting Benavidez. Because I'm a little frustrated about it. I want to see it. Everybody wants to see it. So I would be happy with Munguia or somebody as well. But I mean, you know that from the perspective of like taking the fight that everybody wants to see. Everybody wants to see Benavidez. Everybody feels like Benavidez is the guy that's going to give him the most problems too. So,
yeah, but that's the thing. Like that's what a lot of guys are doing now. Like even Tank right now, right? We want to see him fight Devin. We want to see him fight Shakur. But he'll settle for Frank Martin. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to who you've been facing before. But with Canelo's situation, my issue is this: that you don't fight whoever it is you want to fight. Canelo, cash cow, you the man. You know, you got your country behind you and all that type of stuff. It's just this: if you're going to take you're going to fight whoever it is you want to fight, the lucrative fights or the Munguias, the Berlingas. You're not going to fight the main guy. You hold the belts then, man, because you holding up stuff. Like don't hold the belts hostage. Then you sitting up here picking and choosing. That dude deserves an opportunity, man. He just beat Demetrius Andrade. You didn't really want to fight Demetrius Andrade, Canelo. He beat Caleb Plant. That solidified the fact that he's at least the second best guy in that weight class. So you can't justify not fighting him for the belts. You know, if you relate to the belts, man, cool. Do whatever it is you want to do. You deserve it.
Yeah.
Don't you think it's a bit ironic that these money grab fights are becoming a thing when I would say that the popularity of MMA versus boxing came about mostly because you got one boss there, and that boss is telling everybody like you're gonna fight this guy. Like you had one instance, you know, where a guy's like, I'm not gonna fight, you know, the best guy, and it didn't go so well for him. So I think it's ironic that it's come to this money grab thing in boxing, because the frustration with boxing come from not seeing the best fight the best. Like that's where the decline started.
Right.
Honestly, with Floyd, I mean, if we're gonna be just honest about it, I mean, that's my guy, but I'm gonna be real about it. I believe he's giving everybody this narrative that that they don't want to lose this and I mean, the best are the best because they fight the best.
I think that to a certain degree, I agree. But Floyd was coming through fighting. He was like a tornado, man. Like he was fighting dudes.
Yeah.
Cheek paralysis and all of that. Being very ambitious until he got to the point where, and I still think that he was ambitious enough where he did give you the Canelos at 36 years of age. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think that it got now it got out of hand when he became more of a promoter. Like people still trying to use that blueprint where they jump to the money maybe, but they get to the pretty boy. Like they don't put themselves in a position like that where they lay the groundwork. And Floyd did that the same way Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard took an L against Duran, but at the same time he avenged that. He also beat Tommy Hearns. He beat Benitez. He made himself notch above his contemporaries, and so and they had like a solid ass class where if you made yourself a notch above them, you that dude.
Right.
So he laid the groundwork, and he was marketable. You know what I mean, with the way he conducted himself.
Mm-hmm.
Dudes now, what they do, they might get a win. Now, nowadays, they're not even getting that win. But before, you may have a guy like Thurman, they get like a win or a couple belts. It's like he start acting like he Mayweather. Then you got Danny Garcia or somebody like they doing that too early where they got to solidify themselves as that dude. And then you go ahead and you reap the rewards. Nobody's doing that anymore.
Right.
Now, and it's even worse now. You got like the Tank Davises who never fought any of the best guys in his division. And it's like he's supposed to be one of the cash cows in boxing. Like, how? Like, how are you? What did you do, bro? And you can continue to get away with that sort of thing. So
yeah, like we should have had. I know we had Floyd and Pacquiao, but we got that years too late. We really should have been had Joshua, Wilder, Crawford, and Spence finally happened. But you can argue that should have happened. Like that was in the talk since like 2018 or so, and it finally just happened last year. So it's like the best fight the best, man. Either it never happens or it just happens too late. And like I'll give you Canelo and Triple G. Like I said, they fought 3 times, but I still felt that Triple G really won that first one.
You know what they be trying to do? All that. Let's marinate this and that. It rarely works. Somebody lose or they just never fight each other.
And to build on what Wilton said there, like he said, Floyd laid that groundwork, and it's one thing that people don't really look at because it was earlier on in his career. Floyd was struggling early on in his career to get those big fights that he wanted. You know, like for a long time, like he couldn't get this guy or that guy to fight him. You know, so I think his mindset come from, you know, people doing that to him. It's to where like he wasn't ever going to give up control again. You know, once he had it, like he's going to hold on to it. You know, and
yeah, like he always said like once he got out from under Bob Arum, he was supposed to, you know, then he was able to be his own boss. But it just seemed like once he became his own boss, it was like he was always talking about I'm the A side and we the A side. So,
well, it was.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. I had this guy in the comment section. I don't know what language he's speaking. Maybe if Chris G was in here, he could probably translate it. I don't know what he is saying, but he's left 2 comments. But salute to him, man. So, but what? Let me ask you this, man. You know, we got all these guys coming over to boxing. What you think about like fighters who go over to MMA? Like you got Shields that just want to fight MMA. You got Ray Mercer that did it, and you know the guy that Wilder brutally knocked out. I always had trouble saying his name. Arthur Speakter or something like that.
Yeah, Spilka.
Yeah, Spilka. Yeah, me and Chris were talking, and Chris was saying Spilka, he's in MMA and he's 3-0. So Chris is saying he's got 3 victories in MMA. Like boxing, he was getting brutally knocked out real bad.
Yeah. So he might like the Spilka might be more suited for MMA the way he.
Yeah.
And then it's like some of them other guys, it might make sense for them to do it. But I don't see like unless it's like Ryan Garcia, right? Ryan Garcia is a unique situation where he might try to take one of the whoever is the biggest cash cow of MMA. And I'm just saying, like, if they did a cross promotion with boxing and MMA, he might try to do something like that because he's trying to get the money for it, whatever reason he's trying to get the money for. Maybe right. Debt that he has as far as gambling and all that type of stuff, or psychologically he's just out there. But for the most part, anybody who makes money in boxing, it just doesn't make sense for you to cross over against MMA. It's the opposite. Because like the top boxers, they make more money. You know what I'm saying? That was in the past, boxing was more glamorous than MMA. You know what I'm saying? You knew like, the top boxers. I don't know, like it could change now the way the direction that boxing is going. I don't think it is. That's the top guy. I can't see like a Tank Davis. I'm like, I'm gonna go into MMA. Hello, trying to go into MMA, or anybody who is one of those top guys trying to do that. But maybe somebody who's on the total pole in boxing, you know, possibly doing it.
Yeah,
it might make
Let me just read this comment. Ron Haney in the building. Shout out to Ron Haney. He says a fight over. Now, Ron, we still on Zhang and focus on round 11. And Zhang got 2 knockdowns, but like the scorecards that just came across my screen, looks like they got it even.
What y'all think though, based on what you've been watching?
I'll give it to Zhang with the knockdown.
Yeah, with the 2 knockdowns, I got him.
Yeah, and he doesn't look like he's got. So, like I said, like he's staying composed and he's not throwing a lot. So I think he's using a different strategy. You know, coming, being this heavy. So,
I do feel that since the 6th, it's been Parker though. I mean, he lost a round or 2 in there, but I do feel like he started to pick him apart a little bit since about the 6th or so.
That's good for this old man to be able to hang in here like this, man. This late. That's also I didn't know what to expect once they made it past like the latter half of the fight. But he's impressively strong at his age and at that weight.
Yeah, and he, like I said, he during both knockdowns, he landed solid punches and keeping his composure while doing it. Not getting overzealous or anything.
Yeah. I don't know about this 12th round. Man. Coming up in the 12th.
Mouth a little bit more now, but with the body shots that he's taken, it's impressive though.
Yeah, he might be again. Yeah. He probably seeing about the 4th part. Yeah, he tired. Wow. Yeah. You see him in the corner?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, big dog.
Hey, Parker is definitely landing some hard body shots.
Yeah, but I wanted to ask you, did you see the video with Bill Haney and Broner, and did you see the video where Broner is going in on Alycia Baumgardner?
Listen, man, I don't want to be. I was about to say some choice words, man. See, at the end of the day, I'll put it like this. I just don't like no dude. First and foremost, I don't like how the approach that Broner took in regards to Baumgardner and Haney. Regardless of what's going on in that situation, training or whatever's going on, you don't do that as a dude. You just keep it a certain way. You know what I mean? Like, okay, if you going at Bill Haney, don't even worry about the girl. Don't worry about the lady. And definitely don't be trying to put her business out there. I don't listen. I'm gonna go back in the day. He just sound like a simp, man. Like, it just sound like a lame type dude. And I don't even like talking like that. I'm a grown man. But at the core, you don't do something like this. It's just no-nos, man. Like, I would never, ever in my life bring other people in. He's talking about like Montana Love did this. And like, how are you going to be saying people names? Montana Love may not even want to be associated with that sort of thing. Like, how are you doing these type of things? And what did she do to you? I never heard her say anything bad about him in order for him to, be coming at her like that. And even if she did, to be honest with you, I think that it's a better approach to take where you just be more of a man. It's like, no, baby, don't even, I ain't even going to address you. I'm talking to this guy right here, so on and so forth. The issue that I have with him, I have with him. Right? I didn't like it at all. It just showed me something about Adrien Broner where I thought that he showed a lack of class. It showed a lack of integrity in terms of what men do. Like, I don't like dudes like that. It's a hating sort of thing where it's like anybody that's in that guy's radius, they are fair game for me to go ahead and spew stuff, even if somebody didn't say anything bad towards me. I don't like that, man. I didn't like it at all. It really irked me to see that.
Yeah. The thing with Broner is like, this is nothing new. Like, we know Broner's been like this for the longest time, but he did this against a female boxer. I mean, Broner, I don't know, man. Like, he needs to focus on, like, his next opponent. I mean, you going at a woman boxer, you know what I mean? And like, I didn't hear anything that Baumgardner said, but all I hear was that she was on camera with Bill Haney. She said something like that Broner was broke. I mean, I didn't hear that, but that's just what I'm hearing. But like, yeah, he took that too far. He took that way too far, man.
Imagine this though. Let's say, for instance, whatever reason, and you don't come across as a person who has an issue with many people, right? But let's just say, for instance, somebody had an issue with you, and they coming at you. Mm-hmm. And then there's a lady who might co-sign something that the dude is saying or whatever. That's how I'm looking at it. It's like, I'm not going to be that hurt where it's like I'm delving into her, who she has sex with and all of this type of stuff. That's just, that to me, that's beneath me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to stoop that low to be talking like that. I don't care.
Right. Yeah, but this is Broner's thing, man. This is Broner's thing. He may think it's entertaining. Like, a lot of people like it, a lot don't. I mean, I didn't like it, but like, this is nothing new with Broner, man. He's been like this for a decade now. It don't seem like he's changed. Like, when he gets on the mic, we know to expect that he's gonna say something crazy. But like, yeah, like you said, man, just going against a female boxer and that way, that was just too far, man. But it's Broner, man. That's all I can say. Let me get this comment. Ryan Haney said, okay, cool. I'm not paying for the pay-per-view. I'm disappointed the Zone started charging for fights. I have a subscription for a long time, and it kind of ruins it. Like, did you guys know the price of the pay-per-view?
Yeah, I paid for the pay-per-view.
Okay. Was it expensive?
I got the air quotes up, man. Like, listen, man, you ain't gonna have me on here telling you that I ain't paid for this pay-per-view. I'm watching it right now,
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna leave it at that. Ryan, listen, man, we ain't doing that. Go to the next. What's another? You got another? I don't know. It's my God. I'm disappointed too that I had to pay for this.
Right. But like from what I understand, Haney and Ryan Garcia is not pay-per-view, correct?
I don't know.
From what I seen, it wasn't. I mean, I don't know if it's going to change, but from what I seen, it wasn't. So I think that can definitely, like, if Ryan Garcia don't pull out, I know he's been getting worse with all the stuff that he's been saying and posting. So like, if he doesn't pull out of the fight, I still think that this fight, like, it can definitely get do a lot of views. But from what I've seen, it is not pay-per-view.
Let me ask you this question, and we can look that up. Do y'all
I'm about to.
Do y'all think that the fight is going to take place like between Ryan and Tank? Not Ryan and Tank, but Ryan and Devin.
I can, and it's tough. I can see Devin, like, I can see Devin using his footwork and
no. I'm saying, do you think that Ryan is actually going to participate April 20th? Is he going to be there?
Okay. From everything he's saying, I would say no. But then he's saying, I seen another video. He's okay. He's locked in. But I honestly, I don't know, man. I don't know. He's been posting more crazy stuff than good. So I don't know, man. I can't say. I mean, I don't want it. I don't want it to happen. But if something is seriously going on with him, then he needs to pull out the fight. You know what I mean? Because you don't want the guy going there and take a beating because he's so distracted by things that's going on outside of the ring. So I don't want to see him take a beating. Devin Haney isn't the guy that you want to play. You want to play with, mess with. I know they got history and everything, but still, Devin Haney's a great fighter.
So Parker won it.
What? Are you serious? Yeah, I just seen that. Wow.
I mean, I can see it, but at the same time, here's the thing, is that I don't think, when you dealing, is this Matchroom? Or
yeah, I think it's, yeah, I think so.
See, that's why I say, man, you got to be very careful in this situation, because they're not going to do, if any close fight, they're not going to do Zhilei Zhang any favors. They don't want Anthony Joshua to have to face Zhilei Zhang.
Right.
So in any close, they can figure out a way to avoid him. They did that same thing with Ortiz. They didn't make him lose, but they had Ortiz fighting some obscure guys when he's trying to sign with Eddie Hearn. They were saying that we're going to get you a matchup with Joshua. They never did it. And so they can go ahead and justify this. Now, not to say that he didn't win the fight. If I go back and I watch, he may very well have won the fight. I don't know. But I know those knockdowns early on, it didn't seem like he was doing too much. So I think that at the very least, what he could have got was a draw, based on what I'm thinking. But, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. Chris is texting me now, and he's saying he think that Parker won and that Zhang should have stepped it up. So,
man, that man gonna step up when he's 58, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, he gave you everything, yeah. But no, man, you made some good points though, based on what you were saying before.
Yeah, let me run through these comments real quick. Ryan Haney said it was $50, I believe. Talking about how much his pay-per-view was. He said Haney and Garcia isn't pay-per-view. Yeah, I didn't think it was. And then he said it's part of the subscription.
Okay. I saw the list of fights that they had coming up, and initially I thought the Zone was doing bad for boxing, but really the Zone is keeping boxing alive as far as the fights that they got coming up. But I was gonna say this, man. You got some more that you No, okay. So I was gonna say, as far as the Haney and Ryan fight, I don't know, man, because Ryan really didn't start acting weird until that one press conference. Like after that press conference, before they had posted the video of Devin and Tank, it was normal. But that press conference that they had, and it was like he didn't want to look. You remember there's like the boxers come together and he couldn't do it, and he left. And then after that, that's when they posted the video of Tank and Devin. He seemed like he was hyperventilating, man. It seemed like he checked out, and it was like he didn't want to be there. And after that, that's when all of this weird stuff has been coming out.
Right.
So listen, man, I think if he was fighting what's Rolly Romero, he wouldn't be having all this stuff because he wouldn't have them panic attacks like that. He know that this is his last opportunity, as far as legitimately fighting somebody where he can be like that dude. So it's because he felt in his mind when he was going to fight Tank that was his opportunity to go ahead and be like, okay, I'm the man. He never really wanted to face Devin Haney, but I think he feels compelled to face Devin Haney now. And it's like it's all starting to settle in on him. And we had a conversation in our episode last week. What fighter have you ever known actively was active and talking about I smoke and I drink? Like what fighter do you know who said that and they're about to fight somebody else?
Right.
They're about to fight. Like they got a fight coming up. They say, yeah, I smoke and I drink. Come on, man. Like something is, and these dudes nowadays more so are mentally weaker than they ever have been. Listen, man, you got the big baby Millers. You got the big baby Andersons. You got the Teofimo Lopez, delusional as hell. You got the Rolly Romeros. You got all of the dudes that you be seeing on TV, like they mentally, like there's something not there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, like Ryan, like I said, he's pulled out of the fight in the past due to mental health, but like at this point, man, it seems worse, like way worse, and we're also, I'm not gonna say this has anything to do with anything, but I'm gonna just throw this out there. We're in a social media era, and I can't remember what fighter brought this up, but he was like, it was some fighter that said like back then, after you lose a fight, you lose a fight. Like now, if you on social media, you got fighters that's on your post calling you bums and this and that, and you got people coming against you all kinds of ways. But back then, they can't do that. But this social media era, and that's true, man. I've seen like guys comment on these boxers' posts saying this and that. So that's something that you got to worry about. You know what I mean? But
Ryan Garcia does, because that's his whole persona is through social media. He messes around, and his as far as boxing is concerned, one of his claim to fame is the guy who is one of the best fighters pound for pound in boxing. He went 3-3 with. What about now if they get whitewashed against the dude? Then he looks like a social media guy. If he goes through there and before when he was talking all stuff, he was talking about Tank. That he was going to do this, he was going to do that. And you saw what ended up happening. I don't know if he can come back from a second beatdown, especially in a different manner. And he has no excuses. It's not like I can say, well, in this fight, they put a clause on me, or in this fight, this happened.
Facts.
This is all just straight up, up and down.
Right. That's what I was saying, man. I was like, you fighting the guy, there's no clauses. So we don't want no excuses after the fight, and now he's doing all this stuff. So it's, I don't know, man.
He made excuses before the fight. You got something, but mentally I wasn't right. I was going through it. If he win the fight, you'll never hear about that type of stuff, and that's what I have like a problem with Danny Garcia. Remember, Danny Garcia lost to Errol Spence, and then all this type of stuff about. I've never heard him talk about mental issues and stuff like that. You fought a dude who flew out the car. But you the one got the issues though. Like, man, if you don't get up out of here, I never heard no dudes back in the day. They could have had some legitimate excuses. They would never have any excuses. I saw Tommy Hearns, man. He split his hand against Hagler.
Mm-hmm.
You never knew. It was his trainer who said it later on. He was like, yeah, he broke his hand in half. That's the reason why that right hand wasn't working like it was before. But he never made an excuse. This is the biggest fight, April 15th, 1985. Like, this is the biggest fight at that particular period. Everybody was on the war. Hagler Hearns.
Mm-hmm.
Best 3 rounds ever.
Mm-hmm.
You never knew. He just took the L like a man.
Right.
These dudes, they take a L and they get to making more excuses than like, it's crazy. They give you excuses before they lose. Come on, man.
Yeah. Let me give you this comment. Ryan Haney, he says Garcia needs to focus on his mental health. Like, man, me and Ryan been talking a lot off camera, man. He's definitely been saying a lot. You know, Garcia, he really needs to just get checked out. Did you see that video of Wilton when he did a video with the guy Andrew Tate? Did you see that video?
No. Here's what I want to know though, and I may be insensitive though, bro. When has that like been a thing though?
Right.
As far as like, when could I have ever used that as an excuse?
Mm-hmm.
Legitimately.
Right.
Can I use racism as an excuse? Maybe people were racist towards me and I couldn't really get the end of the. Can I ever use that? Like, when is the end of the excuses that you're gonna have for? I don't get it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's either once you go ahead, you sign the contract. For instance, Errol Spence. I love Errol Spence. I think that Errol Spence was drained. But I don't think Errol Spence can use that as an excuse. You sign that contract. Once you sign that contract, you got in that ring, and whatever happened to you, happened to you. That's what it is. It's no excuses, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Before you came on, man, we were talking about Wilder, the king of that, man. Wilder, the king of those excuses, man.
Y'all, come on, man. Y'all leave my boy out of this, man. You know, that's bomb squad right there.
But yeah, I agree with you, man. It just seems like the mental health thing it's happened with a lot of boxers lately. It's happened with like you said, it happened with Danny Garcia. It's happened with Ryan Garcia in the past. Broner's pulled out of his fight due to mental health. Omar Figueroa, I believe he pulled out of the fight due to mental health. So it seemed like it's been happening a lot with a lot of boxers recently. So,
you know, Tyson Fury, he had his boss, but you know, it could have been legitimate too. But it wasn't like he stopped fighting for a second, and he got whatever, you know, supports that he needed. Apparently, he got the supports that he needed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, it's like Floyd said, that's the reason why you need a good team. If you ain't got a good team, you end up in there. I don't want to hear nothing about no Ryan Garcia. If they end up letting him in that ring, that's gonna be what that's gonna be, man.
Yeah.
Listen, man, come on. How many? If it's about mental health, bro, did Jack Johnson deserve the opportunity to have mental health? Like, he was going through some stuff. Ain't nobody ever like be tripping off what he had to go through. Like, come on, man. All I'm saying, bro, in certain degrees, toughen up a little bit, but at the same time, if you go to sign your contract, you can't have any excuses after the outcome. Like, you just can't. It should be before. Okay, if I got mental health and I decide to go ahead and pull out and I'm not going to fight, then okay. Respect.
Right. Yeah.
You get up in the ring, I sign the clause. That's what I'm saying. Like, if somebody signed a clause and it's like I'm getting up in the ring and I decide to go ahead and I'm going to beat him anyway, then that's what you decide to do. That's what that is. I don't like it.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to let you boys cook, man, because I don't want to be taking up too much.
Man, you good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was saying, like, far as Tyson Fury, like, his story is definitely inspiring, you know, because he lost all that weight, you know, he made his way back up to the top, you know, he beat you know, the bronze bomber, you know, arguably 3 times. So like Ferry's story to me is definitely one of the inspiring ones. But I was just looking at AJ fight, like when he was like training backstage, man, he looked in like good shape. And like, why is he not with Derek James? I like from the last camp, I don't think he was with Derek James. Like, did he drop Derek James or what?
I'm gonna let Shane talk, but he got back with that's a better.
I believe they talked like he was still with him, and he just brought on what's his name?
Ben, is it Ben something?
Ben, I want to say Ben Davis.
Ben, it's Ben something. Yeah.
I believe he still has him. I think he just brought him on as an extra, and they were talking about how well they worked together. And to his credit, he took very little credit for it.
Okay.
I don't be seeing what's coming around there though. I don't know if he's still with Derek James. Like even at the press conference, I be seeing Ben Davidson over there.
Okay.
But I'm gonna be back in about 10 minutes. I'm gonna get right for this fight. Now I apologize, man. I was at happy hour, you know what I'm saying? So I was
all right, you good, man.
Yeah, y'all caught me, you know, when I was moving through. But yeah, I'll be back 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
All right, you good, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, yeah. So like, I appreciate everybody, you know, that tuned in, rock with us. Appreciate, you know, Ryan Haney. Appreciate my dude Aaron. Like I said, I don't know who this guy is or what he was trying to say, but salute to him. Like I said, if you're new to the channel, you know, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button on your way in. It looks like we had a lot of people tune in for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think a storm is.
Yeah, but I was so like I didn't have my full attention on the fight, but yeah, Chris was telling me he think that Joseph Parker definitely got it, and that like Zhang should have stepped it up in the later rounds. So I was wrong in my prediction, man, because I was going for Zhang to win.
Looking at the highlights, yeah, Parker he definitely landed a lot of hard body shots and everything, and he did start. I said that around the 6th, he did start to kind of pick him apart, so I can kind of see where he's coming from. But I don't know that it was that convincing. I mean, I thought Zhang fought a good fight, you know, especially to hold on that long. So
yeah, like he was landing some decent body shots. So. Ryan Haney, he says older fighters come from a different background when they didn't talk about it as much. Yeah. Like I said, yeah, it seemed like a lot of fighters, like in the past year, a lot of the fighters just pulled out due to, you know, mental health. Like I said, Ryan Garcia's done it in the past. Broner's done it. Danny Garcia, you know, he was literally crying after his fight. So I mean, I can see how it really does affect some people, but it just seemed like it's just been happening with a lot of boxers.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tyson Fury. I would say like I'd give him big props for the way that he handled it and overcome it.
Facts.
I think Ryan will fight. I believe Ryan is going to show up. Like I said, with all that's going on, you don't even know if he's being forced into it, like, or you know, like you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. He might be trying to pull out of the fight, and they might be forced into the fight. Facts. You know, like really hard to know what's going on with him.
Yeah, you know, to follow up with that, when I interviewed Adrien Bernardes, the second part, he was telling me something. I can't remember what he said fully, but he was telling me something of that nature, like he was trying to pull out of the Danny Garcia fight, but he got threatened, like they wouldn't pay hard or something that he told me of that nature. Like he got threatened, he was threatened behind the scenes. So I can understand where you're coming from with that, you know. So
yeah, I mean, there was one of these Instagram posts, and I mean, you got to follow him with Ryan Garcia because that's, like he said, that's where he come from. You know, he's a social media guy, so I can't see him doing some of the things that I've seen on his page. Though I really don't see him as a person doing those things, and I could be I could be wrong, you know, but I believed that Ryan was trolling until the satanic thing come about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see Ryan Garcia doing that, and if he is doing that, then he needs to pull out of the fight because his mind isn't where it should be.
Right.
But I think the fight is going to take place. And Ryan can't afford to lose the fight. Like I fully agree there. He cannot afford to lose this fight and continue to have big fights.
Right.
He could say after Tyson Jake Paul thing, he could go down that road potentially.
Mm-hmm.
It's a horrible idea. I mean, did you see him on Arrow Hawani? The MMA Arrow?
No, I didn't see that.
Okay, so he's talking about wrestling, and and if you know boxing, you know how there's levels to it. Like he's talking about wrestling. Like I wrestled my security guard, and making a comment about it, like that he would be able to get in there and just naturally grapple with Sean O'Malley, and be able to contend with him. That's a joke. I mean, I really hope that he is just trolling there. I hope he doesn't actually believe that. He'd be in for a rude awakening. His behavior is very, very concerning.
It is, man.
He was more under the radar, like you only seen it after the fight. You only heard about it after the fight. Like he kept it under wraps, and I thought he'd done it the right way because he let it all out after the fight was over. And I don't feel that Danny would have used that as an excuse had he lost the fight.
Right. Yes. Ryan Garcia is definitely like one of the main topics in boxing right now, with all the stuff that he's been saying and everything. So it's like I said, I went to see the fight, but like from a health standpoint, if he's not 100%, man, if something's really going on, I don't want him to go in a fight of this magnitude. If something's going on behind the scenes, man. Like I said, you got Broner on standby. I'm sure they got some other guys on standby. So I do want to see the fight, but if something's going on, man, he just needs to pull out. But man,
you got a lot of guys that's wanting to fight. So I mean, Broner wanted Shakur. He wanted to fight. I remember them saying he wanted to fight. He was saying tag me in. So
right.
I mean, that's another guy that I'd like to see Haney fight. So it might be the next best thing. And I'm a big Broner fan, but I don't. I will say, Broner has been a little more tasteless than I've seen him before. Like we were attacking a woman, and it's a little surprising to me. But like you said, it is Adrien Broner. That's what he does.
Right.
So
facts. Yeah, like because Alycia Baumgardner, if I remember this correctly, she's from Ohio, but she resides in Detroit now. And he was just saying things like she's not from Ohio. All these boxers running through her, and then some of the boxers were actually commenting on the posters like, "Hey man, leave me out of this" and all that. Like Montana Love is one of them. He was like, "Leave me out of this." So, yeah, but like I said, this is Broner, man. He's one of the most entertaining dudes on the mic. But this was just a video that he recorded at home or whatever. But yeah, I wasn't feeling it, man. So yeah,
they have a percentage here, and 57% believe that Ngannou will win.
Wow,
staggering, isn't it? That really gives you insight as to who the audience is here, right? Like, because
maybe they're looking at the fact that he dropped Tyson Fury. Joshua doesn't have the best chance. Joshua was dropped by Andy Ruiz. He was dropped by Klitschko. He was dropped by older Klitschko. He was dropped by Ruiz. So maybe they're just questioning his chin. And sometimes it seems like Joshua has stamina issues, but like I'm saying, when he was backstage, hitting them pads and everything, man, he looked in tremendous shape. But like I said, he's got a nice run. He won a decision over Jermaine Franklin, stopped Robert Haney, stopped Odo Wale. So he's been on a nice little run, man.
He has.
Yeah, I see it now. Yeah, it just came across my screen. I see it now. Wow.
Yeah,
I'm going with Anthony Joshua though.
Me too. And I was gonna say I got caught up a bit in that, drop Tyson Fury hype myself. To be honest, I got caught up in that. But once the tone of the night takes place, like you can really get the feel for things. And Joshua seems really confident. Like you said, look really good in the back. Training. He's got those sullen eyes going on, and he's 100% business tonight. And I think if Tyson Fury had been 100% business, you would have seen a different fight too. So
facts. Everything you said, I agree with you 100%. Let me get these comments. Ryan Haney says, I think Ryan is cracking under the pressure. He knows he can't lose. My guy, Scotty 70 in the building. Salute Scotty 70. He said, Joshua by decision. I'm hoping, but I think he gets to stop. Salute to Scotty 70, man. He Scotty 70, he hits me up on, Instagram all the time. He said he loves the interview. So, I appreciate the support, appreciate the feedback. He's watched all my interviews, he talked on the phone and everything. So appreciate the love, and the support, from Scotty 70, man. Again, man, huge shout out to you. So yeah, Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou, both guys are in the ring now.
Yeah.
My prediction, I'm just gonna go with this for right now. I'm gonna go with Anthony Joshua, probably by a late start.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably 7th round.
Yeah.
That's a prediction about the 7th round. I think it'll. I think early on, though, if Ngannou doesn't land something convincing early on, I think within the first 3 rounds, Anthony Joshua will have him in a place where he realizes that this level is way above me.
Facts. Yeah, I can see that happening for sure.
In himself, I think he believes that. I think he believes he's at that level, and you don't know till you actually get in there with somebody at that level. So
facts. Like when Floyd fought McGregor, he said he said this like sometime after the fight. He said that they study McGregor and they see how he tires near the end of his fights. And he said that was his game plan, was to tire him out and then finish him off once he gets tired, and it worked.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, here's the thing, Floyd, I don't think a lot of people give Floyd enough credit in that win, because I mean, you think Floyd's not fighting this style. He's just coming right forward at him in that fight. He's playing cat and mouse, and at the same time, he's trying to give the fans a show. He's trying to give all these McGregor fans that have paid for this fight something to root for. You know what I mean? He's not trying to make McGregor look awful. He's out there trying to make McGregor look good until he finishes him. You know what I mean? He wants to give the people a show before he stops him. I mean, if anybody thinks that McGregor just won these rounds because he was able to land those shots on Floyd, it allowed him to land these shots. It's not like if Floyd's sitting back in that shoulder roll, McGregor's not landing these shots. He just picked apart, and I mean, I don't think he had any intention of making McGregor look sloppy, make him look bad, or make him look like he didn't belong. He wanted to make McGregor look like he belonged.
Right.
Oh, we won. Sorry, my thing was low. Didn't realize the fight had already started.
Yeah, Anthony Joshua got a serious look on his face, though. And say, listen, this in shape, man.
Yeah. Yeah, both of them come in good shape.
Yeah, both of them looking like I love like one of the things before the fights, man. I love the intense stare down when they come face to face, man. And both of them had the intensity in their eyes, so I'm expecting a good fight, man.
I watched Tyson training Ngannou for the Fury fight, and maybe he's improved some since then. But one thing is for sure, like you definitely have to have more cardio in boxing, and that shows because a lot of these MMA fighters are getting burned out, quickly. Not on the scale like this. I know, McGregor and them survived a little bit longer. But he even admitted, in the press conference that he would burn out, around the 8th round, that he would start to get tired, and that anybody would. And I don't necessarily know if that's true. I've seen a lot of fighters that don't get burned out. They could fight, they could fight that 12 rounds without ever huffing and puffing. So I don't know that to be true. He's definitely going to get tired because of all that muscle. It requires a lot of energy and.
Yep. Yeah, like Joshua, he's a big guy and everything. He's muscular, and I always say that he's like kind of robotic. You know what I mean? And then he looks like he looks like a tall bodybuilder.
Yeah. Joshua is about as muscular as you want to be for a heavyweight fighter. Like, you don't want to be too much more muscular than that. Like Mike said, the strongest guy hardly ever is the heavyweight champion.
Right.
You got to have zip to your punches, and lifting heavy is counterproductive towards that. I know that from personal experience. It's very counterproductive to lift heavy and try to throw fast punches.
Right.
Ooh.
And as far as the MMA guys like tiring and stuff, but they're throwing kicks, they're doing submissions, they're wrestling or grappling, so you can understand them getting tired. They're doing more, not instead of just throwing punches. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was more referring to. It seems like they don't have the same gas tank for boxing. It seems like boxing may require more energy because you fight a lot more rounds. You fight a lot. What happened?
Oh, Anthony Joshua got a nice knockdown in the first round.
Nice knockdown?
He got a knockdown.
Oh, wow.
First round.
Oh, okay. Here it comes. Yeah, see, he doesn't have a chance to fight. He might land something lucky, but that would be it. Joshua's already established himself. And you see that look in his eye, man. It's right there. He got them sullen eyes for this one.
Yeah, for real.
He come out here to prove a point tonight. He didn't come out here to put on a show, if you will. He come to make some noise. They got like a hoop won the first round. Are you seeing these polls they have that come up? 86%. Who is the 15% that said Ngannou won that first round after he got knocked down? Oh man. That's somebody. Right.
Yeah. I gotta see the replay. Ooh, flush right hand.
And with the guy getting knocked down, there's no way 15% actually thinks that Ngannou won that round, though. Come on. You got to know.
Yeah, that was a flush shot. Let me get this comment. Scotty70 says, bad look for heavyweight boxing if Ngannou does. I guess he's saying if Ngannou wins.
Yeah. I think if he did, it just speaks to his power, to be honest. He has some real power, and that's his only real chance at winning is landing something with that surreal power. So I don't think it really speaks poorly on boxing. Like Tyson Fury just got caught because he was slacking the job, to be honest.
Right. Yeah, everybody agrees that Fury didn't take this guy seriously. So
he definitely didn't. Like the weigh in and everything, I think it showed. Like he had referred to himself like he was in great shape for the fight, but he wasn't. You know, he's at one point he was saying I was in the best shape, had the best training camp, blah 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 blah, and clearly he didn't seriously. Clearly.
And everybody agrees with that. Yeah.
Can do if you take him seriously. He can't stand here and box with Joshua. Joshua is levels above him in that regard.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like Joshua's been on a nice run. He just Usyk was just like very good on his foot and everything. So he just couldn't like capitalize on Usyk. Usyk is just such a good mover.
Right.
And plus Usyk is coming up from the cruiserweight division, so he was coming up from a lighter weight. So he was just better on his feet.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Man, I don't think I've ever had as much trouble out of a fight like trying to get one to load as this one.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even catch the knockdown the knockdown time. I had to catch it.
Yeah, it was bad, man. Like, it was flush.
Oh yeah, I got to see it, but luckily I just got it on there in time to see the slow motion one.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like Joshua's keeping his distance. He's popping. Got him again.
This is a good time for Joshua to say, I'm back. Like I said, Tyson Fury wins that fight, right? Tyson Fury beats Usyk. He's got to face Joshua in the mega fight then, right?
Right.
Then boxing's back. I think Ngannou is going to be a lost memory after this. You know.
Oh, sorry to cut you off. It's over.
It's over?
He knocked him clean out, man. Wow.
Oh.
He knocked him clean out.
Oh, wow.
Like, Ngannou is still out. See, this is what I was saying, though. This goes back to what Wilton was saying. Like, Ngannou shouldn't really been in there with him, man. You know what I mean? He just is a second time being in a professional boxing fight, going against one of the top guys. And this happened. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I agree.
Shelton Moore tuned in. He said, AJ finishes blank. I say AJ finishes us. Salute to you, Shelton, man. Appreciate you sliding through.
Yeah, bro. Oh my goodness, man.
Yeah.
And look, man, he come out.
Yeah.
He come out there, and I mean, like, doesn't this solidify what I was saying about okay, so Tyson Fury wins, right? Like, this solidifies for sure. Like, like, he has fought noteworthy opponents. Like, some of the people that gave Tyson Fury the most problems.
Mm-hmm.
He's Joseph Parker.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, the mega fight's back. Tyson Fury wins, and you got him.
Yeah, so
like Joshua fight Fury again. You know what I mean? So that's exciting for boxing. That's one thing that is very exciting.
Facts. Yeah. If Tyson Fury gets past Usyk, they gotta set this up, man. Because like I said, man, Joshua, that's three knockouts and stoppages in a row. That's Ngannou, that's Oda Wale, and that's Robert Haney. So Joshua's last 3 fights, he's been looking spectacular. So yeah, I agree, man. If Tyson Fury gets past, Usyk, they gotta set it up. And now they're putting an oxygen mask on Ngannou.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got him breathing through a mask. Wow.
He was not playing at all.
Yeah, he ain't playing. Wow. So Fury's looking worried, man.
Could it be? He come out there and showed Like this is what everybody expected the Fury fight to be like. Maybe not as devastating of a knockout, but you expected Fury to just clown him, you know.
Wow.
He's out. Like when he was sitting there, his eyes rolled in the back of his head, it looked like.
Yep. Yeah, when he went down the first time in the second round, man, when he sat down, you could see like his eyes kind of go back. But that final one, man, that was bad. Like he went out cold. So wow.
I just caught it.
Wow.
I just saw. Oh my God.
And it was flush on the chin. They showing a different angle. It was flush on the chin.
Wow. Oh man, alert there. It kind of caught me by surprise. Sorry about that. Oh my God. That was.
I mean, that was a spectacular way, you know, to end the main event. So.
Yeah, you said they put an oxygen mask on him, huh?
Yeah. That's what I said. This right here shows, like I was saying earlier, this shows that, you know, Ngannou, like I said, it's a money grab. He's a lot richer and everything, but this just shows that stuff like this really shouldn't be happening, man. You can't throw a guy in there in his second pro fight against a top 10 heavyweight, man. That's not good business sense. But you know, boxing is a business. You know, both guys got huge paydays, and the fact that the fight was sanctioned, you know what I mean, they're allowing this, you know what I mean. But hats. Only thing I can say is hats off to, you know, Ngannou for trying, you know, taking the risk and taking a chance. He's you know, he's up on his feet. He's talking to Joshua. He's healthy, so that's, you know, that's what it's about. At the end of the day, you know, you go home healthy into your family. So.
I think Anthony Joshua, hats off to Ngannou, but I truly believe Anthony Joshua just sent a message about all these gimmick fights there. He went out there and delivered that message that Tyson Fury should have delivered.
Facts.
I mean, like, because Frank was hung up on that Tyson Fury fight, that he won it, and, you know, like, I believe that in his mind he was the favorite, and Joshua sent a message out there, and I mean, that beautiful performance. It's a good thing. I'm glad to see Ngannou's helping up and everything. Mm-hmm. I was a bit concerned when you said that he was still out, so it's good to see him up on his feet. But you could see a look in his eye. He don't know what hit him, man. Like, he knows for the levels now, you know. So
right. Yeah, I got my phone's blowing up. What a shot from AJ.
I will say this: don't you think that he gained a lot of fans tonight, man? He gained a lot of these MMA lovers. He gained their support tonight.
Facts. And I just hope, like, I'm hearing that, you know, I know Jake Paul and, you know, Mike Tyson just got announced. I'm hearing that it's just going to be like an exhibition. But I just don't want to see something like happen like that. You know, Mike Tyson is 30 years old. I mean, we can't. I hope people are not expecting him to go in there like prime Mike Tyson. You know, I mean, he's almost 60 years old. So, and you know, Jake Paul is a big guy, he's stopping everybody. So, I just don't want to see something happen like this. You know what I mean?
I believe a lot of people are expecting it because I've already seen a lot of people talking about putting money on Tyson. So I believe a lot of people are expecting that Mike is going to go out there and be that same guy. And like I was saying earlier, that half a second that you don't see in those videos from 3 years ago, you don't see that half a second off, right? Like, in his last couple of fights, you know, where he got with those shots that he would have avoided. the commentators, go back and look at McBride or something. The commentators will even say, that's a shot that Mike wouldn't have got hit with 5 years ago. And I'm referring to fights that happened years and years ago.
Right.
I do think Mike has gotten more confidence from the time off and everything. He's always dangerous, but Jake Paul is the favorite for a reason. Now, if it's an exhibition, I don't want to see the same result as Roy and Mike. Right. Whoever wins decision-wise, give them the W, man. Don't make the draw out of it.
Yeah. Let me read this comment. Sean Moore said, I thought AJ was scary. I don't. Hey, Shelton, can you elaborate more on that? I didn't hear anybody saying that AJ was scary. So, can you kind of elaborate on that? But yeah, who shout out the shout, man? I've been seeing you cooking on last ones at the bar. So salute to you, man. Coming on, the show, cooking it up. So salute to you. Yeah. So did you know there was a fight on last night on ESPN?
I didn't.
Okay, so if you watch my and who shout out to John Scully, everybody tuned in. If you ever seen the interview with Iceman John Scully, definitely check that out. So Scully had a fighter, he said it at the beginning of the interview. He had a fighter named his name was Stephen Benjamin, I think. Stephen Benjamin, and this was out in Mountain Rio, Canada, and it was on ESPN. And he got a first round stoppage over Steve Rose, and it was brutal, man. It was brutal, man. Steve Rose, he was literally sitting on the rope, slumped over asleep. It was like a first round stoppage. So you definitely got to go back to YouTube and check that out. So who shout out to Iceman John Scully, for training him and being in his camp. But that came on, like I said, man, it was a Thursday fight. I'm not feeling these Thursday fights, but it was in Canada, and that was a brutal stoppage, man. So.
Oh yeah, man! I wish I would have kept that live. That was a great interview. That was a really good.
Yeah, appreciate that, man. Yeah, I was glad I got it, man. I was glad to get it. Scully definitely learned a lot from him. From him training, sparring Roy Jones, sparring, Vinny Paz. He talked about being in, better be his corner. So who shout out to Iceman John Scully again, man? If you ain't seen that interview, definitely check that out. It's a solid interview between, with me and Iceman John Scully. So salute for him, being as busy he is in the sport of boxing, being able to, just come on and, just give me a little interview. So who shout out to him, man? Definitely salute to him for coming through, for sure.
Yeah. We got a bunch of fights coming up. I mean, it's getting to be really exciting, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, it is good. It is good for AJ. I mean, I think he got a lot of fans out of this. So I mean, that's one plus,
Yeah. So we got we'll probably cover. I know we definitely got Tim Zhu and Keith Thurman on March 30th. We got that to look forward to. Some other fights, Chris saying that he was interested in that's coming up this month. So yeah, we got a couple fights, to look forward to. Like I said, we definitely got we definitely got Ryan, Garcia, Devin Haney. Like I said, if nothing happens but that, yeah, of course we got that fight. But you back, Wilton?
Yes, sir. What happened?
Did you see what happened?
Nah, I ain't see what happened. But
I go ahead and tell you, Joshua got a second round KO over Ngannou, and it was bad, man. It was bad.
Yeah, listen, man. Let me go ahead and turn this lights on real quick. Talk to me.
Right.
How did the first round go?
The first round, Joshua got a knockdown. Okay. So Joshua got a knockdown, and then in the second round, he got another 2 knockdowns. And the first knockdown in the second round, you can see when Ngannou went down, if you watch the replay, you can kind of see his eyes rolling a little bit, and then the final knockdown, man, he went out cold. Like they had to put the oxygen mask on him and everything. So it was bad, man. But that's what I was saying, man. A guy like Ngannou, he had no business being in there with a top heavyweight in his second fight. You know what I mean? I mean, boxing's a business. Like he got a nice payday. I'm happy, you know, he's healthy. He can go home, you know, go home to his family, you know, healthy and everything. But man, the commissions, you know, they're allowing these fights to happen, man. This fight should have never happened, man.
Right.
It should have never happened, man. That was bad. And like Tyson Fury was in the audience looking worried.
Right.
Yeah. So your guys in the comment section, Sean Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the comment. He commented a couple times. So I say salute to him, you know, sliding through.
Yeah, no doubt, man. But check this out, right? That's how it's supposed to happen. And Tyson Fury need to be ashamed of himself because he could have did this. The other thing too, moving forward, one of these dudes gonna get seriously hurt.
Facts.
You know, because you have no business being in the ring with a fighter who is trained. Like that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? They can't go to MMA and do what it is you do. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing, man. Hey, what I do, any of you dudes try to come in my business and do what it is I do, I run circles around you, man. Right. It's just so many different things that I know, little nuances and stuff that you would never be able to know. Just imagine somebody who is good with their hands like that, and they know little tricks of the trade. And they got a little, see, they showed that before the fight started, they said Josh was 27-3, 24 KOs. Mm-hmm. And they showed the Ngannou 0-1. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Mm-hmm. See, here's the thing. And if they're going to go ahead and do this little circus type stuff, cool. But don't have me going these boxing shows and y'all legitimizing this type of stuff. Like, oh, this is a big event. If you say this is a big event, don't never in your life be mad at Canelo for fighting that dang on McGee. You can't say that. I seen Canelo fight some dudes that was the Triple G. I seen him fight some real legitimate dudes, Mayweather and all them type of dudes. So you can't question anything. You can't question Tank Davis. He's fighting another legitimate fighter. I don't care anybody that's in a sport of boxing. They're not fighting nobody who's 0-1. If you're gonna go ahead and legitimize this type of stuff, so it's hypocritical, man. Like these dudes are. Come on, man. We gotta have some type of standard that we live by as far as boxing is concerned. And if this sport is gonna live and it's gonna be vibrant, I'm looking on ESPN and they legitimizing Mike Tyson, who's damn near 60, about to fight Jake Paul. And they're talking about that. Well, with Jake Paul, I have Jake Paul because Jake Paul is young and he's been fighting. Mike Tyson is he's a senior citizen. But you having a conversation about this type of stuff.
That's
what about the dudes who's supposed to really be fighting each other? Like, come on, man. That's what y'all trained to do.
Yeah, and you play ball and everything, right? That's kind of like you being in like a championship game, and you know somebody who's very inexperienced in basketball goes up against you. You know they got no chance.
Listen, man. Back when I played, like seriously, if there was a dude who played football and he was playing basketball, I'm licking my chops because I know you're not on the court each and every day. You might get to the point where you back on your game and stuff like that, and you can be good. But soon as you come off the field and it's like the football season just ended and you get on the court and you're supposed to be like the top this, man, I'm gonna cook you because you haven't really been out there like that. Like we've been balling, man. We've been working on our game. Come on, man. This is bogus type stuff. It's just making the sport of boxing like horrendous, man. It's like they're not catering to the hardcore fan. What you should do is catering to your opponent. Like make sure that they are satisfied. Make sure their taste buds are not just their taste buds, but they're full with the nutrients that they need. Then you go and try to expand out to some other type of stuff. That like this type of stuff that they're doing right here, this should be like an anomaly. Like it should be something that happens on a rare occasion. Now this is the norm. Like this is what we're supposed to be looking forward to. We're not gonna buy into this. So then you're gonna have people streaming. Yeah, there might be some casual people who might buy into this stuff. Watch the numbers on this type of stuff. Ain't nobody really tripping on. Ain't nobody checking this out. And if they did, they're not checking this out in the future. Because this is how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to get your butt rocked when you fight against somebody who's a legitimate contender. He should have got rocked by somebody who's just decent because of the fact that they fighters.
Yeah.
Not alone somebody who was a former heavyweight champion. But listen, and then on top of that, I'm looking at Joshua because sometimes Joshua can be when they have him in the press conference and stuff like that, sometimes he can be like looking a little shaky. He was so confident in the dang on press conference. He knew what was going to happen. He giving Ngannou his headphones and stuff like you can have these and all this type of stuff. He's talking to the fans, and sometimes when he be like nervous, you can see him with his headphones on and he don't really want to talk to people and stuff like that because he got a legitimate contender that he's facing. Come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah, but I said, man, that was bad, man. Let me run through this comment. This guy says, saying something smart TV. He says, Ngannou can still stay at pro boxing, but he better fall in line now. There's levels to this thing. Man, after that, I don't want to see him stay in boxing, man.
He got his money, man. That's what he's not like in the hospital or anything like that. He was able to get up and he's able to collect his bread. Then move forward, man. Don't sit up here and make it any worse. That's what's gonna happen. He said that regardless of the outcome of this fight, he won Wilder. No, it's gonna be worse. You're gonna end up in the hospital messing with Deontay Wilder, man.
Facts, man. Let me look at this next one. Ryan Haney, he says, I just saw that KO on Instagram. He was out cold. Yeah, he was out cold, man. So yeah,
and listen, man, Shelton, man, I love you to death for coming on each and every week, man. You a citizen, you're a part of the team. Anytime that you want to come on, Shane, come on, man. We would need to have you too. Right now, you catching me when I'm a little bit inebriated, man. I was out there willing and dealing with this little lady and whatnot. It was Friday. That's what I do, man. But I want to make sure I came back to get on with you fellas. But anyway, this right here, man. The fellas, my main man Shane, Vale, they're talking about 7th, 8th round. I'm like, how? These dudes hit too hard. So Joshua, even if he's playing it safe, he's going to be hitting him more so than how Fury was hitting him. And I think honestly, I think this is what Fury was thinking. I thought Fury, I'm going to get the dude out of there. I'm not even going to train for this dude because I see what he could do. He's never fought before. So, but he's not a power puncher or anything like that. And he was that much out of shape. The other thing about Fury could have been thinking, you know what? This fight is close. I can get me another payday against this dude because if it's closed, then they're going to be saying what they're saying. And then that's going to be another easy payday for me. But then once Joshua got his victory against Wallin, then it was like, well, and then they was trying to negotiate the Fury and Usyk fight. Then Hearn snuck in there and gave Ngannou another big payday, probably bigger than what he got with Fury. So he tricked him a little bit. But at the end of the day, Fury knew he could have did way more than what he was doing against Ngannou. And they probably told him. They was like, man, you know what? All you got to do is make it all 12 because we got the Usyk fight coming down the pike anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Like, I don't like it. But, like I said, man, boxing at the end of the day, it's a business, and it's been happening a lot lately with, these crossover MMA guys coming to boxing. But, like, tonight was a perfect display of why this shouldn't be happening. You know what I mean?
Thank you. In that regard, thank you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and like, I know you watched my interview with like Scully, man. There's boxers that's like in wheelchairs, not going to be the same for the rest of their life because they're taking serious punches. And like this is the heavyweight division, man. That shot could have seriously put some damage on him. Like, okay, he's okay now, man, but like he still may have to go like to the hospital and get checked out, you know, and just to make sure he's 100%, you know what I mean? So
what were they expecting? Like, as far as, you know what they always say, skills pay the bills. Like, I don't care how big and strong you are, you still have to be able. So if you're a big dude, does that mean you're going to be the home run champion in baseball? No, you got to have skills to be able to hit the ball. You have to have eye coordination on everything. You got to have practice, repetition. Repetition makes you who you are. He doesn't have the repetition, man, regardless. Even if that fight lasts a little bit longer, he was going to get to the point where he was going to be too easy for Joshua to see, because Joshua see like regular fighters on a consistent basis who know how to fight when they're fatigued, when they know how to fight. Come on, man. He got maybe a puncher's chance where if he lands something wild, but that's going to be rare. That's only how that can happen. Had he not seen Ngannou, and then Ngannou lands something because he never seen Ngannou fight before. But you got footage on him. He's seen him fight against Fury. You know what it's like? It's like that quarterback, right? So they might have a quarterback the first year they taking the league by storm. But guess what happened the second year? We got fam on you, bro. So we know what you can do. So we're going to take that away. Show us what you can do. What else you can be this way? Plan B.
Sophomore jinx term.
Yeah, it's the same thing, man.
Yeah. But I want to ask you, it's words been coming out about Crawford and Chris Eubank. Have you heard about that? And like, if so, what you think about it?
I haven't heard anything about that, but again, I just think that all of that stuff is right up Crawford's alley. You know, I love Crawford's skill. I think Crawford matches up against any dude that you put him up against. I just want to see personally, and he doesn't have to do anything for Wilton Henry, and that is fight a legitimate dude without any questions that need to be answered about the guys, as far as the dude being laid off, as far as the guy being a little bit late, as far as staying at a weight too long, as far as somebody being so inactive and all of that type of stuff. Just fight me one solid dude that is strong at that weight, who's like cold, who's good. You give me one of those dudes, Crawford, to me, I'll put him up there with all of the dudes that you can mention. I'm saying like any of them. If Crawford messed around it, but he at this particular stage, why would he do that? You know what I'm saying? Because it's too late in the game, and at this stage, you know, you got way more to lose by doing something like that, as opposed to, because he may not. Let's say, for instance, he try to fight Boots, right? That might be like a the Black Prime stuff that he did, as far as like the sales, because he don't really sell anyway. So I'm just saying, like, it just baffles me, man, and it bothers me. But I get it, you know. He's gonna go down as one of the greats, you know, regardless. But to answer your question, why not? You know what I'm saying? Like, because most people gonna say, well, he deserves to do whatever he want to do. And if he can make a lucrative match against him, that's an easy win. Like, that's like this. Like, I already know he gonna beat the dude.
Yeah, I ain't interested in it, but that's it. That's what's being said, and it was on Boxing Team. You know, Boxing Team to me is a legit site, so it looks like that could possibly be happening. But I ain't feeling it, man.
Who can Crawford fight to satisfy you? That makes sense.
Boots. That's the only one for me right now.
I'm saying, what does that make sense for him?
I think it's the only fight that the fans want to see for him.
You would think. You would think that would be the only, but what for the fan?
Definitely not Spence. Definitely not Spence again with his with his surgery stuff. But to me, only Boots, man. I mean, he's 147. He got the belt that you just recently stripped. You just got stripped of a belt. Boots got it. He's he's a tough 147 puncher. He's got power. He's got all the tools. But, he wants to move up and fight Canelo. Canelo is most likely busy with Munguia. So now it looks like it's going to be Chris Eubank. I mean, I ain't interested in it, but let me just run through these next few. Ryan Haney, Connor, Ben, and Manny might be happening. Shakes my head. Yeah, I was saying that earlier. Shelton says Eubank is a check. That's it. That's what I'm saying. I ain't interested in it. Porter wasn't solid. I don't know who's he referring to.
He might be talking about what I was saying. So
Porter,
Porter, that was. So am I wrong by saying that was Porter's last fight? I saw Porter in the press conference taking a nap, like in the press conference. I saw his father saying that he wasn't training the way that he was previously. I saw Porter fight against the dude that he fought after he fought Spence, and he didn't look that great in that fight. That's what I'm saying. It didn't seem to be that was the same Porter. So you give me, for me personally, I just want to see him fight because that was always the situation. When he fought against Kell Brook hadn't fought at 147 in 4 years. When he fought Amir Khan was a shell of himself, and Amir Khan always had the chin issues. You never would favor him against any of the top guys based on that at 147. I'm just saying there was always something. Benavidez had one leg. So, and like I said, that's what I'm saying, Sheldon. For me personally, now you could say that Porter was a solid victory. That might have satisfied your appetite for him having a victory at 147. It didn't for me. That's what I want to see. I just want to see a legitimate guy where, without a shadow of a doubt, nobody can say that he fought a compromised guy that's in front of him. If he fights Boots, he's not fighting anybody that's compromised. Boots is big, strong. He looks like the next dude up. So, take him out, man. Yeah. But he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to, according to the way things set up. Listen, for my liking, that's what I would want to see.
Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys, but if Sheldon's still tuned in, Porter debuted. Porter's very first fight was in my town where I stay at back in 2008. So I was there when I've seen Porter's very first fight live. So I met Porter. I love Sean Porter to death, man. But what Kenny Porter did to him after that Crawford fight was wrong, man. That was wrong, man. Just the way to say all that about his son, like in front of the world, that was messed up, man. So I was pissed when Kenny Porter did that, man. Shelton said Tim Tszyu, Thurman winner. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Crawford wants the winner between them two. So you're
gonna fight Tim Tszyu. Yeah, so you're gonna fight Tim Tszyu then.
If Tim Tszyu gets past Thurman, I like the fight. I'm cool with that. Tim Tszyu and Crawford, I'm cool with that.
If Tim Tszyu struggle with Keith Thurman, man, he can get that dude up out of here, man. I mean, he can. Yeah, I'm saying but it's just the point as far as me thinking that he's legitimate. Keith Thurman has been inactive all of this time, who's been struggling with the dudes he's been facing. Like, he's not legit. I think that he's legit.
Mm-hmm.
But if he struggles against Keith Thurman, no way. He's not ready. Right. But again, that would be legitimate for Crawford. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because if Crawford is saying, so remember, Fat Boy came out, his trainer. He said that Boots brings nothing to the table.
Right.
So if he's saying that, the only way you can justify that is probably a Tim Tszyu. because Tim Tszyu has that Australian fan base. So you can legitimize that fight. But you can't fight any of these other dudes and tell me that that's better than Boots Ennis. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, what does anybody else bring to the table?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, let me run through these and I'll quote. Sheldon says, "Is there money behind it?" And then he says, "Bud told us after I stopped him there would be more excuses." Said that before the Spence fight. I will say this. Boots just had his very first main event. You know what I mean? I was there. He just had his very first main event against Monvia. Prior to that, he's been on undercards and everything. He's never been on pay-per-view. So I guess if Crawford is talking about this from a business standpoint, that's what he's trying to say. He's never been in a pay-per-view fight. I don't gain much by fighting him. You take Spence, on the other hand, Spence has been in pay-per-view after pay-per-view. Spence held 3 belts. You know what I'm saying? Boots just now getting the belt that Crawford just got stripped. Crawford just got stripped by the belt. You know what I mean? And now it went to Boots. So Boots didn't have any legit belts. So I guess from a business standpoint, I can see where Crawford is coming from.
Can I pause you for a second, though, champ?
Go ahead.
But the only problem is that there's nobody who wants to fight Boots. So that's the problem is dudes can avoid somebody all day. What was Spence trying to fight Boots? Was no one, like none of you name any of the top 147-pound fighters, none of them, even the other guys, the underlings that were supposed to be up next, none of them want to fight Boots. They'll say, well, I'll fight him if it's for a title or do this and that. The only dude that was willing to do it was Vila. And Vila wasn't no known commodity. He just beat the other dude. So it's easy to do that. That's another form of being able to duck somebody is what does he bring to the table when nobody want to fight him? Like they were doing that. They do that to guys where they delegitimize you by not fighting you. Then it's like, whoa, you don't bring any numbers. They did that to Devin Haney. Nobody wanted to fight Devin Haney. And then it's like, at first it was, what does he bring to the table? This and that. Every time he tried to step up the fight, they did that to Floyd Mayweather. When Floyd Mayweather was coming up, he tried to fight Shane Mosley. He tried to fight Oscar De La. They didn't want to fight him. Then it's like, it's no reason for me to fight him because it's not going to bring any money to the table. And then eventually it got to the point where it was demanded that they fight him. Now, Devin Haney had all the belts at 135. He went up to fight at 140 and beat Regis. Now, it's not the fact that he doesn't bring things to the table. Now he's too big. It's too easy to do that, man. Like you can keep. So with Boots, it's going to be David Benavidez. At first, that's what Canelo was saying. It's like, what does he bring to the table? He didn't beat anybody. He beat Plant. Okay, well, all right, he beat Plant. Then he beat the Andre that you didn't want to fight. And then it's like, okay, you just want to go over here and try to fight Berlingo or McGee. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
It's a convenient way to avoid somebody.
Right. Yeah. Let me just run through these. And Sheldon said, will any promoter put 10 to 15 million behind Ennis? And then he says, Crawford told us 2 days.
Before you go, can I chime in on that?
Go ahead.
Now, from the Boots end, that's why I say he doesn't do a good job of demanding that people draw attention to him outside of his skills, because there's another layer of it. Like, you got to be a showman too. You got to call out dudes. You got to talk a little bit more. You can't be he's so docile in terms of, well, he's cool. And you can't be that way if you're going to really be somebody that the audience wants to see. Why do I want to see you in this day and age? Like, they want to see something that's going to draw their attention. So as Boots whoop on these dudes, he got to be more of a showman when he does it. He got to be more Prince Nassim Hamed in his approach. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, man, you see Boots. And then what he said afterwards, You got to do a little bit more of that. And I know that he's a good guy. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's his business too.
Yeah.
So, Boots, man, you watching this, man? You go ahead, call on Wilton Henry. Wilton Henry gets you right, man. I'll talk. If you can't talk, for yourself, I'll talk for you. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. I just want to say, man, before we cook, man, I just want to say salute. I just got like 4 more subs, so I passed 400. So I just want to say salute to everybody that sub to the channel, because I know before we started, like I said, I was at like 398. So it looks like I just got 5 subs. So salute to everybody that sub, man. Yeah, for sure.
That's for sure, man.
Yeah.
You deserve it, man.
You deserve it.
Yeah. Anything else y'all want to cook on? Because like that's all I really wanted to cook on. I talked about Bill Haney and the Broner and Alycia Baumgardner, Tyson and Jake Paul, Crawford, Eubank. So I was like, is anything else y'all want to cook on like before I like close it out? Because we've been live for about 2 hours now. So
man, it's all Lovey Smith, man. I just want to know, Shane, how long you been watching boxing, man?
Oh man, I've been watching since I was like 4 years old with Iron Mike. It's been a very, very long time.
And then what about yourself? Man? You said you got into it.
You said me?
Yes,
I've been into it since like I would say about 2005. I went to my very first pro fight in 2005, and like since then I've been hooked. Like I just love the venues, the atmosphere.
You've been dedicated. The only reason I'm asking that question is I saw something on another channel, and I wanted to pose this question for you, gentlemen. Since you've been watching boxing, what is the fight that you wanted to see most that never happened?
I would say now, I would just say, I mentioned this earlier, I would just say Joshua and Wilder. That didn't happen. And since we're talking to Boots, I would definitely say this: Boots and Virgil Ortiz. But Virgil Ortiz just been having issues lately. But to me, that's a blockbuster fight. It still is. You know what I mean? Boots is a big dude. Virgil Ortiz just moved up to 154. He's only got 1 round in. So if things go smooth with him, that's definitely a fight that I'm anticipating is Boots and Virgil Ortiz. But I would say Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. I really wanted to see that, but I don't think that's going to happen now. So,
from a perspective, Adrien Broner and Amir Khan is a fight I always wanted to see. I would just die to see it just for curiosity purposes, just to see if Khan could pull it off. See if Broner would let his hands go in that fight. It's just a really interesting fight to me that I always wanted to see but didn't get to see.
Isn't that crazy? That's always been AB's situation, man, as far as letting them hands go. And we've been wondering that for a long time, especially after that Ghana fight. At one point, AB, he was letting them hands go. You know what I'm saying? It's been several fights for me, and I know you want to close this one out, Ty. One, since I've been watching, man, Lennox Lewis, Riddick Bowe. I was always upset that I didn't get a chance to see that one. Riddick Bowe threw his WBC belt in the trash can, saying that they can't force him to do anything. Tito Trinidad and Ike Corte. I always wanted to see them two fight. And then most recently is what you said, Ty, is the Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, because they were on a collision course. They were like right on the cusp of fighting each other. And it was like, man, you just never got a chance to see that fight. And it was right there. Like that could, if they would have fought each other, I don't know, man. I don't want to go too deep, because the only reason I want to go too deep is because part of me, I feel like when you see like boxers from the past and the way they speak and stuff like that, and it's like these dudes playing this game where they're being smart business wise. Like I get it. It's like, okay, I'm trying to take minimum amount of punishment as possible. Even when I watch other sports and I see guys that are positioning themselves where they are trying to make as much money as they can before they have to do something, before they have to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Okay, well, let's negotiate this first. And then, so I get that part of it, but at the same time, you take away from the cloth of why people like the sport in the first place, you know? And so that's the unfortunate thing. So I just wanted to ask you those questions. I also wanted to see if some of the stuff match as far as, and I agree with all of the things that you guys mentioned as far as the fights that should have happened or that could have happened that a lot of fight fans want to see.
Yeah, for sure. Brian Haney says, congratulations on the 400. Shelton said, what's your channel? I put it in the chat. It says just T Finney 3319. Or you just type in his corner and it should come right up. And Shelton says, been watching since Ali, and I don't know how you say this guy's name.
Oscar Bonavena.
Okay.
I wish Shelton would put down that what fight that he wanted to see. But check this out, man. All you fellas that's still watching, man, y'all go ahead tune in on Sunday. Me and Vel gonna go in. Hopefully you fellas will go ahead chime in and we can have an extravaganza, man. Because I'm gonna tell you what, it's gonna get kind of thin in the middle of March. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna get a little thin, but before it gets thin, we can all have a good conversation about the state of boxing, man. All you dudes are knowledgeable, man. I'm glad I got a chance to chill out and talk to Shane. Shane, I apologize, man. When I first got on, I was zooted, man. I had 3 margaritas, man. They had me over there a little twisted. I was over there talking to this little cutie. And I said, baby, I gotta go get on with Ty, man. I gotta go ahead and get on in this corner. You know, she said, I don't know if you're in any condition. I said, well, I'm gonna do the best I can. And you know, it kind of dwindled down a little bit, so I'm good right now. But I respect your boxing knowledge though, champ.
Yeah.
Nothing but love, brother. Nothing but love. I know exactly how you feel. Hit me up. I was like, nah, this a big night, you know, like I got caught in the hype. I want to say that. I got caught in the hype of the storytelling that they do here. You know, and today the reality sank in before the event happened. I was like, AJ's gonna kill this guy. Mm-hmm. It just finally sank in, like, but they can allure you with this stuff, you know. They can really get you caught up in a fictional story sometimes.
Right.
And I got caught up in it before the day. It was looking at the train and everything today. You know, Joshua was coming. He was ready to send a message, and it just popped in my head like, why did you ever think that it was going to go any other way? You know, so.
But let me ask you this:
check today.
Before the fight, what was your prediction before the fight?
Well, by today it was Joshua. I did think that there was a chance that he could get caught. Yeah. I think that Ngannou had a puncher's chance, and I think one time I even said Francis Ngannou, like he was actually gonna shock the world and like he was the favorite, but I never actually thought that he was. I believe Joshua would pull it off. Yeah, but I had a puncher's chance.
Yeah, I had Joshua about late start. So I was wrong. He got him out there a lot earlier. I expected that. I thought he would. So
yeah, I didn't know he was so focused and ready like that. I thought he was going to toy with him for a little while and then put him away. So I mean, it was right down the pipe. Like he saw that a mile away, and you know, like,
yeah, you know that he had Fury on Ngannou, and Fury knew. I saw Fury in the early part of the fight. He was throwing some stuff that was just zipping past Ngannou's chin. But the thing that Fury, like, styles make fights. So when Fury, in my impression, I thought that he was going to let the fight linger on a little bit longer, but with his style, he likes to like grapple a little bit, and by him trying to grapple with Ngannou, a guy that's what he does, then he was tiring himself out even more, and he's out of shape. And so that even as Fury not a power puncher and from the get-go, and that took away even more of his power. So even when he was trying to throw some shots later on, it wasn't having any effect on Ngannou. But you can't, like Joshua, he's too, and with Joshua, if he's confident, that's when you was talking about him fighting Brazil, when he was fighting against what was his name? Not Frank Martin, but Charles Martin.
Charles Martin, yeah.
Like at that stage, Joshua, that's when, so Joshua been showing me like that he's afraid of Wilder. Like when Wilder comes up, he has that Ryan Garcia stuff going on when Wilder Dame comes up sometimes. I don't know now since he lost to Parker. I don't know. He might be a little bit more confident, but at certain points, he start acting like that. I never knew why. Because when I saw him fight against Martin, when I saw him fight against Brazil, and some of those guys, I'm like, this dude right here, like you do your little 1-2, and you land that stuff against Wilder, like you gonna get him out of there. Or it's gonna be, you got a really good shot. Now I know that if he get touched, then it's a wrap. And I know that he don't like, he don't take a punch that well. But at the same time, his fundamentals are so good. And so that's what I was like, why is he acting like that? But yeah, I know that this was a farce. But here's the thing, though, this last thing I'm gonna say. If they continue this, hopefully this pulls the wool, you know what I'm saying, or pulls the blanket over the BS. If not, somebody's gonna get seriously hurt, man.
That's
If somebody's gonna get seriously hurt, and they're gonna have to do it.
That's,
yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, and I want to say I agree with you on that because I can't remember what fight it was. It was after one of Joshua's fights, and Max Kellerman was asking him something, and he never brought up Wilder. And Max Kellerman was kind of like, "Man, I thought you would say something about Wilder." He never did. So it just seemed like he wasn't showing like he really wanted that fight to me.
No, he didn't. He never did.
Yeah, so it just seemed to me, it never seemed like he wanted it. But I seen Wilder on the other hand, like he was saying, like, I think it was after his rematch with Devin, he was like, Anthony Joshua, I declare war on you. Like he was showing me he wanted it. What I've seen, but me and Chris always got into a debate about this, and Chris was just always saying Wilder just stayed loyal to PBC and all. I don't know, man, but I just but when they were talking to me, it just seemed like Wilder showed that he wanted it more, and Joshua that seemed like he wanted it. That's just me.
Yeah, man, he fought track. He fought hard to get that fight. That's
yeah. Oh, keep going. My bad.
Well, from what I've seen, Wilder and him was trying to get that fight, and it didn't come to fruition. And then the Fury fight come about. Fury signed the contract like that, and I mean their fight come quickly. But it seemed like they were trying to get a deal done for a while there. You guys remember that?
I remember like it was yesterday. See, the thing is that it's like what Tank Davis. What Tank Davis does with Devin Haney, he won't really talk about Devin Haney unless Devin Haney has a fight coming up. And so Joshua was doing that sort of thing with Deontay Wilder. So Wilder was trying to make the fight. When he had a fight coming up, then they might start mentioning, okay, we offered him this and that. It's like, dude, already got a fight coming up. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember it like it was yesterday. And then because see, they were on a collision course. It was after that. I want to say it was Klitschko. after that Klitschko fight, everybody, it was like a collision course. They were going right towards each other. And then they offered AJ some money and all of that type of stuff. And then they decided to go in a different direction. But there's a lot of stuff. You would have to mention like the what was going on at the time, and then I can go ahead and let you know what was happening. But they were doing everything that they could to keep Wilder's name associated with AJ, but they wasn't going to fight AJ. Even now, like if you listen to some interviews not too long ago, maybe a year or so ago, AJ was saying that he doesn't have to fight Wilder, and he's going to fight Wilder when he's ready. And it could be 2020, whatever. But it's like, damn, man, this is like 2000. Let's say it's 22, and you tell me, I don't have to fight him until like 2025. Like, well, shit, he's gonna be about 40. He didn't like. No, I've never seen. That's again, we get into the point of never seeing certain things. I never saw like Mike Tyson talk about his projection on fighting the next dude. I never seen Muhammad Ali. I never seen Lennox Lewis. No, they don't say stuff like that. You don't talk like that if you that dude, man. It's like, man, you gotta, like, your handlers might be like, no, we're gonna go ahead and do this or whatever. But you not saying that. Yeah. So that's the reason why I never even Tank Davis in the 20 tank. When I heard him saying that Floyd was trying to make him lose by putting him in with Lomachenko, I'm like, what you talking about? Like, you supposed to be like, get me Lomachenko. He can't mess with me. How are they trying to make you lose by putting you in with Lomachenko? What you saying, you can't beat Lomachenko? Is that what you saying, bro? Like, nah, man. These dudes need publicists. They need all type of stuff nowadays, man. They need a better team. All the dudes I saw who was that dude, they wanted that smoke, man. They wanted that smoke.
Yeah, but I will say about Joshua, he always seemed, like soft-spoken and everything. But that one time I did see him kind of get out of character when he lost to Usyk in the rematch, the way, he threw his belts down and everything. I was like, we ain't never seen like, Joshua like this. So I seen a different side to him. But yeah, to me, it just never was his style to like call out anybody on the mic or anything like that. But as you mentioned, it just seemed like he never really wanted that Wilder fight. So to me,
listen, man, it's a difference between having a mental meltdown as opposed to really want smoke. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can get to a point where it's like, see, if I cultivate you, or if I baby you to a certain degree, right? I baby you, and it's never any resistance. I never put you in through anything. And then finally you take a loss or you lose multiple times. You might have an outbreak because you're just not used to losing. I babied the hell out you. As opposed to, it's different between you wanting smoke. Like, no, I want to fight this dude and I'm upset. Like, you not giving me this fight. Now I'm mad. That's different than me just having an outbreak and a tantrum because of the fact that I finally lost and you put me in a situation because I'm so used to you putting me in a situation to be successful and I'm not successful. You know what I mean? Like, that's what he was going through. Right. Yeah, man. Yeah. And that's the whole thing. And that's what we're dealing with now in these sports. Shout out to my man.
We got taking L's, man. Let people have an L. That shouldn't be the end of your career. You know what I mean? Go take an L, and that's a learning experience.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let me just run through these comments. Kristen McGrew in the building. She says, "I know you don't think Wilder could beat AJ.
Maybe not today. Man, Kristen, come on here. Let's talk about it.
She gonna come on one day. I've been trying to get her to come on camera for a minute, but
come on, Kristen, let's not do that, man. That's what we have a revisionist history. That's a lot of times, man. I used to hoop, right? Like, dudes will tell me about some stuff. I'm like, it must be 2 cities that I'm from, man. Like, y'all talking about back then. Like, then Man, Wilder would have smoked that dude because he had a lack of confidence. As soon as he was going to get hit by Deontay Wilder, I think Wilder's power was bigger in Joshua's mind than it actually is.
Yeah.
You don't act like that. They asked the man after the fight. He fought somebody. He got a little victory. He lost to Usyk. I think it was the fight that he had. What was the black dude that he fought that's from Detroit, or not Detroit, but Michigan?
Jermaine Franklin.
They asked the dude about Deontay Wilder. He said that he's tired, or he's tired because he's so tired of carrying the heavyweight division on his back. They asked you about Deontay Wilder. How are you carrying the heavyweight division on your back, sir, when you just had 2 L's against Usyk? Listen, man, we can call you LL Cool J because you just took 2 L's. We call you Cool J because you just took 2 L's. You understand what I'm saying? But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't make sense. So you don't think that Wilder could be? Oh, I'm sorry. I know you don't think Wilder could. Oh, yeah, she's bugging. Come on, Christian.
She cooking in the comment section. She said, let me see. I know you weren't trying to say that. She said that's passion. He's a beast, but you're right. That's not his style. Actually, calling out guys. He didn't need a Wilder fight, and look at Wilder now. Get the F out of here. He's not on the same level, not even close. Always been Team AJ. A loss is definitely not the end. I was at work, but I was watching, and she said, "So what? How many has Wilder had?" So, yeah, I gotta rap with her when we get off here.
I'm glad that she's a passionate AJ fan, and AJ got some great supporters. Shout out to you, Christian. But I'm gonna say this, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can carefully craft somebody's career. If I got more money to be able to do something than somebody else does, I can craft their career better than somebody else. Also, if somebody is more so for instance, Boots Ennis. So you telling me I can tell you some people who probably have better resumes than Boots Ennis, but they can't mess with no Boots Ennis. The reason why they have a better resume than Boots Ennis is because nobody want to fight Boots Ennis. They scared to face him. So, but you gonna tell me that person that everybody else is willing to fight is better than Boots Ennis, and that person's not better than? Come on, man. We gotta have like a more nuanced approach when it comes to this, and we gotta be honest. That's why the sport of boxing is the way it is, because we allow this type of stuff and we make excuses. Listen, man. Come on, let's stop this. Let me see. Who's in the sport of boxing? It's like Devin Haney. Is Tank Davis better than Devin Haney? I don't know. Because he's not willing to face Devin Haney. Devin Haney was in his weight class for 5 years. He wasn't trying to fight him. They told us that the fight wasn't ready yet. All of a sudden, Devin Haney gets all of the belts. He gets all of the belts. He's undisputed. He wants to fight Tank Davis. Tank Davis does not fight him. Right? So now, he's standing around at 135 to see if he can fight Tank Davis. They still not fighting him. That fight right now is not big enough. He goes on to 140. He fights Regis Prograis. At the time, a lot of people think he was the most dangerous dude at 140. Knocks him off. Devin Haney still wants to smoke. People saying now he's too big. But how in the hell is he too big when you went up to 140 to fight what's his name? Mario Barrios. You already went up there to fight him.
Yeah.
So, but you would but people will say that Tank Davis is better than Devin Haney, who's done way more than Tank Davis, and he wants to fight Tank Davis.
Man, I always said Barrios looked like a giant compared to Tank, man. So yeah, like you say, he's willing to fight Barrios. Well,
on top of that, though, check this out. So on top of that, so let's say, for instance, the argument is at this particular point, Devin Haney is bigger than Tank Davis. Let's say, for instance, that's your argument. Didn't Tank Davis just say he wanted to fight Conor Benn? Who's bigger than Devin Haney? Man, come on, man. Let's stop the nonsense. This is frustrating to deal with people. Like, how you gonna tell me when Deontay Wilder wanted to fight the man? The man kept like neglecting to fight him. I can't say that the man who's scared to fight the next man is better than the man who wants to fight him. It's a reason why he's scared. Wouldn't Deontay Wilder be one of the biggest paydays for AJ? Wouldn't it be?
I would think so. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Question about it in my mind.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. Like, do this. We can't keep doing it. I'm saying that to say, like my boy Vail, I love Vail to death. So he'll be telling us, Tank and Devin need to do. I'm like, no, it's Tank need to do because Devin is showing us that he want to fight. Like, how can we put both of them in the same category? We can't. My bad, man. I get a little frustrated, you know.
Yeah, you good, man. You good. Chris is still cooking. She said, y'all must be talking about Mayweather, laughing. She said, that's true, laughing out loud. He wasn't scared, never, So she tuned in with us, man.
I get it. Okay, all right.
I gotta get her on camera, man. We gonna get her on for a show, man.
As soon as you get her on text, man, I gotta cook Kristen, man. And Kristen, you seem like a good fan. I respect the fact that you support AJ, but I gotta be on the honor of the sport of boxing, man. I stand 10 toes down for the sport of boxing.
Facts.
I know you love AJ.
She said we need to get Lori on here. She loves some Tank. Yeah, I know Lori. I was just talking with her the other day.
Nah, come on. His comments, Chris, get more and more ridiculous. You talking about Tank, who's messing up the sport? He's sitting up here. Who do you want Tank to fight, fellas? Who do y'all want Tank to fight? If you had your choice, who do you want him to fight? Why not?
Devin Haney.
Devin Haney. Okay. Well, what about you?
Tank. Devin Haney.
Devin Haney. So, okay, would you settle? Okay, let's say, friends, would you settle for Shakur next?
Yeah, I'd be happy with that.
He's giving us Frank Martin. And we don't even know if he's going to give us Frank Martin. Like, this is just out of left field because he knows that everybody's saying that he keeps fighting these Mexican dudes or Hispanic dudes and whatnot. They're feasting off of it. And he's not going to keep getting over on that. Yeah. Okay. This is the best we get from Tank. Tank is he's like 29 years old. This would be the best fighter he probably faced at 29 years old, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. And he's supposed to be one of the cash cows of boxing.
Get
Lori on here, Kristen. Like, get her. Can she come on now? Come on, man.
Yeah, man. Like I said, man, I'm cool. I'm cool with Frank Martin. No, it's not the one I want, but I'll take it. So
that's what they're doing to us, though, Ty. Like they keep getting us like that each and every time. They Democrat and Republican us, man. What they doing is they get in office and then they sell us, nothing. They don't give us anything. Then that fourth year, they give us a Frank Martin, and then it's like we supposed to be satisfied. They ain't give it. We never got what we wanted. We never got Shakur. We never got Devin Haney, and then we'll get a halfway decent fight. Even though Frank Martin is a stepper, man. He's coming to you. Really supposed to be up Tank Alley.
Right. Yeah.
We want to instead of you Tank talking about sending out some video saying that you showing us this edited version of y'all sparring match or telling us that you cracked this dude and all that type of stuff. If it's that easy, get in the ring with him. Right. Wouldn't these dudes that we want you to fight, wouldn't that be one of your biggest paydays? With Devin Haney, who you say is easy work, or Shakur and all those guys, if they're easy work, why not get your bread fighting the easy work?
That's
But Christian, this is what I said. This is what I said for Christian Lord. If y'all can go ahead, and I'm not even gonna do y'all. What I'll do is I'll just sit and listen. I'll take it. Y'all go ahead and subscribe to the last ones at the bar. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure, man. Like everybody's tuned in, man. Definitely sub the last ones at the bar, man. Consistent. consistent, go live every week. You know what I mean? Always chopping up different topics. Break down everything from the fight. The age, the weight, the record. So man, I love what y'all do, man, for sure.
Well, I love what you do, man. And shout out to you, man. I had a good time with you about 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah. I was gonna get into that. Yeah, I know. So me, I
love your patience, man. You was over there. I'm sitting over there. It's like, hey, Shane. I'm at the fight, but it's like a tennis match to me. I'm like, God, dog, I see this one over here. I see this. They're over there twerking in front of me. I'm like, this over here watching fights. He got this one, man. Like, Floyd Mayweather, they say he don't engage in much. He stay so disciplined. That's this man right here. He over here watching fights, getting interviews and all that type of stuff. I get sidetracked easy, man. So,
yeah. There's a lot of ladies in there, man. So, I mean, definitely a lot of nice ladies in there. But I know when I first met you, I said, hey man, dude look like an NBA ball player, but I know you balling and everything. I said, like, the height and everything caught me off guard. I said, hey man, you're a lot bigger than the person that I thought you was.
That's all good, man. I had a good time. Yeah. They got any fights coming up soon? You know about?
Yeah. It's
What you say? Say that again.
What was it? Jeter Promotions, right?
Yeah. Tony Jeter Promotions. Like I said, he's been having cards there since like 2017, 2018. Like he's had about 14 fights there. It looks like that's his spot. So it looks like from what I've seen, post, looks like he's gonna have another one in like June or something like that. I'm not sure, but I just saw that. Like I said, I just wanted to go there. I never been there. Like I said, I've been there to the casino, but I've never been there to a fight. But like I said, I just wanted to support, Aleem and Izzy, who I interviewed. So it was cool. Good experience, man. But like you said, man, I see why they call you Last Ones at the Bar, man. So definitely see why they call you Mr. Last Ones at the Bar.
Keep that on the humbly, man. Don't tell them all that, man. Yeah, don't let them know.
But, yeah, like I said, I would definitely drink with you and all that, man. Just like I guess you could say I'm real strict with like my I had a far drive back home anyway, but I'm real strict with my license and stuff. So I've seen, I've been driving, trucks for like you say about 10 years now, and I just seen so many guys get caught up with these DUIs and stuff, and then they can't drive for like 2 years and all that. So I've seen it firsthand. So I guess you could just say I'm real strict with my stuff. So
yeah. Listen, man, we ain't got to go through all that now. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this: I need to touch base with you offline because I'm trying to do something. Not with the trucks, but I'm trying to do some stuff, and I think I may have discussed with you what I'm trying to do.
Cool.
If you have any insight on some stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. All right, yeah. Let me just run through these, man. We close it out. Like I said, she's cooking. I got to get with her off camera. She said I always been an AJ fan, good and bad. Well, she's going hard for him. She's talking about the good Lord. She said I'm not a Tank fan. Definitely Haney. Pitbull almost had him the first time. Yeah, he needs to step it up, the competition. And she says we got Crawford and Spence. So she ain't here cooking.
Wait. She said we got Crawford Spence. What I'm trying to figure out.
I guess she's trying to say that was a good fight that we got last year or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
the thing is, I just hopefully the next time we get Terrance Crawford and Errol Spence and not Terrance Crawford and Daryl Spence, because we got Daryl Spence last time.
Yeah. I'm surprised you caught that, man. Yeah, but you said y'all gonna go live Sunday.
Yeah, Vail sent out like what it is we're gonna talk about. And so I think one of the things he sent was Mike Tyson versus, did you ever play the Tyson Punch Out?
Yeah, I played it. I've had so many games when I was a kid. Yeah, and I've seen those memes that's going around with I've seen it, and they look like Tyson and Jake Paul. Yeah,
Glass Joe and all that. So that's what
it's all on Facebook. Yeah.
So that's so we were talking. It's like, man, we were going back before he had me a little heated. He's like, say that for the episode. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Matter of fact, I can tell you what we're gonna talk about in a second. Let me see. Hey, what's good with somebody else? Yeah, we're gonna talk about. No, he didn't send us. He was talking about that. We're going back and forth about that. But yeah, we'll talk about this fight card, man.
Okay.
The thing is, before we wrap up, though, what you think? What you think is next for AJ, man? Because if Fury and Usyk, that's probably gonna be 2 fights. So in the interim, is it gonna be a rematch between him and old boy who won tonight, Parker?
I don't know. I mean, me and Shane was talking about this earlier. If I'm hoping Fury just gets past Usyk so we can get Fury and Joshua. If some reason that can't happen,
you think
I
that
like
he
Herkovich.
That's him?
I think Fury. I just think Fury's on another level. Yes, he didn't look good against Ngannou and all that. I just think Fury's on another level. I mean, this is the guy that beat the Baumgardner 3 times, stopped him in his last 2 fights. So I just think Fury's on another level. I know he's got his antics and everything, but I feel he gets past Usyk. So I would like to see Anthony Joshua and Fury like summer showdown or fall showdown or whatever.
But check this
out.
I'm looking forward. Check this out. Like getting past Usyk and dispatching them is 2 different things. Because the reason why I say that, only reason I think that it's going to be a little bit more challenging is 2 reasons. Mm-hmm. One, Usyk is Usyk, and Usyk is a winner. Usyk he has that footwork and stuff like that, right?
Right.
He may not. It may be a fight where, and see the way Tyson Fury fights. See, and then even before I get to that, if Tyson Fury was coming off a fight that he had against somebody that was preparing him for Usyk, it's like the last fight that you had, you look like you look. Mm-hmm. And then you got more time in between. You had a little cut or whatever it is that you had. They said that you wasn't looking the best in training and all of that type of stuff. And then you proceeding to this fight against this dude who's undefeated, very tough to beat, very mentally focused, so on and so forth. I can't see him just doing away with Usyk. Like at one point I did, like just based on the guy, like them at their best, I could see it. Like him going against Dillian White. Remember when he knocked Dillian White out? Like that Tyson Fury, I can see it. I can see him setting Usyk up. Usyk finally fighting somebody that met his match. But this Tyson Fury, I don't know. I can't see him whitewashing him. I can see like this fight, him getting a victory. And then the next one, maybe because he got the data and all that type of stuff. He's too big. He's a little younger than Usyk too. So I can see that. But I think that this is gonna go 2 fights because I think that whoever wins, and I would lean towards Fury. I think that the other guy, since they're undefeated, it's like I can make the adjustments in order to beat that dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, all right, short scenario, if they do fight 2 times or have a rematch or whatever, for AJ, I would just say Herkovich just right now until I can't think any other names. I would just say Herkovich right now until somebody else pops up. Yeah, but I would say Herkovich. So, yeah, that's right.
That'd be good to see Parker again. I'd like to see that after his performance tonight. I think it'd be interesting. Yeah, just if he can't get Fury next,
right, yeah. But AJ been on a mission, man. Like 3 stoppages in the last couple fights, so yeah, he's on a nice little run now. So yeah.
Wait, before we do that, let me look at something because I don't want to give him too much praise for some BS, man. Because they strategically. Let me see something real quick. Because the other day, right, me and Vail, we were he said something about your boy Tyson Fury, not Tyson Fury, but Canelo. He was like, I give Canelo like a 9 or a 10 as far as his resume. Mm-hmm. And when I look, I'm like, man, that resume ain't what it all appears. So let me look and see who really AJ. So he fought Aldo Waling. All right, so okay, so this is the Ring Magazine. They got Usyk as the champion. They got Fury as the #1 contender. They got Joshua, and they got Zhang and Parker 3 and 4. Mm. Now you're right. He could fight Herkovich. I'm not sure that he would go in that direction. See, Herkovich, 17-0 with 14 KOs. He could. And I could see him whooping on Herkovich because Herkovich a little slow. He's not going to fight no Frank Martin. No, they're not going to do that. You know what he might do? You know who he could fight? Who? If he had a win under his belt, was Joe Joyce. Yeah. See, that'd be right up the alley. You know what I'm saying? Big fight, 2 UK below.
Yeah.
But he has to have a win. He can't talk to John. Throw him up in there. It ain't much there though. Like in a heavyweight, he's not gonna fight Wilder. He probably should at this point, but ain't no telling. Ain't no telling what's going. He might fight Jake Paul.
Yeah, I'd say Herkovich or maybe I don't know about Daniel Dubois, man. I wouldn't say Daniel Dubois. I mean, I don't know, man. I think Herkovich for me is the best name I can think of right now.
You think it like a boxer?
I want to see him fight Fury. I want to win and I want to see him make a fight.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Like I'm saying, if Fury gets fair shooting, that's what I'm hoping for. And if not, then I'll go with Herkovich.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, we're close now, man. Almost 3 hours strong. You know, it's definitely a long episode. This definitely had a lot of people tuned in. So like I said, thanks for everybody that subbed to the channel. Who shout out to my guy Aaron, Haney tuned in. Shout out to him. And Christian. So we shout out to everybody that was in the comments section. Listen, man. Like tell us your channel one more time, man. Like definitely sub. The last one's at the bar. You probably go live 2:00 on Sunday, right?
2:00 on Sunday. Last one's at the bar, man. We talk everything boxing and past previous week. We go ahead and preview fights that's upcoming. So whatever fights that's gonna happen this upcoming week, I know that they got some stuff that's coming next week on. We definitely gonna talk about it. Vale's gonna have his perspective. Sheldon might come on, man. Hopefully you fellas come on, and if so, we can even add some topics like related to the sport of boxing. Is Ryan Garcia? Is he gonna show up? If he doesn't show up, who should Devin Haney's opponent be? You know what I mean? Should it be AB? You know, him and Bill been going at it. You know, that sort of thing. And so y'all been keeping up with that, you know, and if so, do you think AB could be a viable opponent? We talked about that a second ago. Could he be a viable opponent if Ryan doesn't show up?
Yeah.
I would entertain that. I know it'd be some crazy trash talking and all that, but I do think Devin beats me.
Yeah.
I watch it, but I think Devin beats me.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So we only talking about those type of things, man. We try to keep it, relevant to the weekly episodes of what's going on previously and then what's coming up. But man, y'all get a chance, man. Come on in, man. We can do like a little panel. I just think that what we could do, even if y'all come on this week at some point, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That'd be great. But thank you so much, man. It's always an pleasure. It was good being on with you. I'll go ahead and talk to you.
Yeah, Shane, anything you want to say before we close it out?
Just follow me on Instagram, Real Shane Sollis.
All right. And Christian, she's still going in the comment section. I said I'll get with her. You know,
what's she talking about? What she talking about?
She said right, laughing. Music Furry winner. I guess she's saying that's for Joshua.
Yeah.
She said he would destroy Parker too. Furry didn't take it seriously. Yeah, we all said that. I would love to see Furry AJ. Yeah, that's what I want. That's what Shane wants. So
absolutely.
That's what I'm hoping for next. Yeah, man. So like you said, we go ahead and close it out. Like I said, man, my guy,
hold on before you go. I know you about to close it out. I just want to say one last thing. If Fury is the Fury that fought against Wilder, he's gonna smoke AJ. Because you talking about a dude that's mentally strong. Yeah. And just imagine in those press conferences stuff that Fury is gonna be talking to AJ about. Stuff he's gonna be doing. He might come in with a Batman costume. He gonna fly in. He might smack AJ. See what he do. This AJ might end up acting like Ryan Garcia in that press conference. Anyway. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, like I said, man. Yeah, you follow me on Facebook, Haney, Instagram, The Legend 3347. Shane's on Facebook, Shane Sollis, Wilton on Facebook, Wilton Henry. That give last one tomorrow sub. And you guys, y'all just witnessed the 40-second live coverage and watch along on the In This Corner podcast. On that note, we out. We see y'all again soon. Peace.